We are live for Neon Space Podcast number 5. We accidentally labeled the last Neon Space Podcast number 5 as well. That one was supposed to be number 4, but this was actually number 5. I'm not sure if anybody's watching them sequentially in order anyway. I'll fix that before we re-upload it to Spotify and whatnot. Today we're doing a best of video game mascot. Let's see, we got some different characters loaded up here, ready to rock. I sort of feel like the favorite is Mario. Like, we'll go more into it and get into it, but can you really beat Mario as a fucking video game mascot? It's like the longest living, best franchise of all time in video games, in my opinion. But
yeah, you also got Master Chief. I feel like has a special place in my heart, at least. I got a bunch of the Halo.
I got spicy takes on Master Chief, but I'll save them until we get to the thing.
I don't know, Master Chief. I don't know how you can dislike that. He's a pretty fucking. He's like an icon of.
Halo's a great game. He's one of the most boring characters in a great game I've ever. Like, he's uninteresting. He doesn't look cool. Like, he's just kind of a boring character. He's like fucking Luke Skywalker for Star Wars. He's just like not an interesting character. He's just the character that's taking you through the story. That's my opinion on Master Chief. Like, as far as like, I don't know. I wouldn't buy like a toy of Master Chief. I don't think he looks cool. Whereas like Mario, I think is like a really cool cartoon character. And, like, I wouldn't watch a TV show starring Master Chief. I would watch a Mario movie and a Mario TV show.
Dude, I disagree. I would definitely watch.
Again, let's save this for the fucking. Yeah, like I read a book about Master Chief too, so I've been in the lore, and it's just like, yeah, this wasn't that good. Like, I was not into the weird Halo lore series.
I don't know. I like the lore.
I read I think it was non-canon. Like, they had a bunch of books after the first Halo that came out, and then like that maybe worked its way into canon through the next games, but they definitely just wrote a bunch of shit. Hello, opinion makers. Oh. That's us, Baggy Hodler. Hello.
Marcy's got her opinions about it too. Oh, girl. Paul Mike.
I'm trying to think of some honorable mentions that didn't make it. There were a couple on there, like, I don't know, there's so many video game franchises, it's like hard to really just pick a couple. But there's like Mortal Kombat. People are saying Scorpion, but I was like, I don't think Scorpion is the sole, like, they've advertised other characters on the front of Mortal Kombat. It's not like Scorpion is Mortal Kombat, like, synonymously.
Yeah, even Sub-Zero and Scorpion, I feel like are
even like Ryu or Ryu or whatever. I was like, there's other, like, it's not. There's other shit in Street Fighter that's been advertised, so I was like even hesitant to put that on there, but that was on like all the top 10 lists. So, but
yeah, Ryu, I would say he's kind of the Street Fighter icon. But I could see people arguing for Sub-Zero and Scorpion, because those two guys I feel like are like the iconic characters from.
But in the movie, it was fucking Liu Kang or whatever. Like, I feel like there isn't like a single. Like, when you play Mortal Kombat, it's not like the story's written around this one character. It's just, it's an ensemble cast of characters. Not one of them is Mortal Kombat. So, like, to me, that's not a mascot for a franchise. A mascot for a franchise is like, every time they advertise this franchise, that person's face is on it. And that's not how Mortal Kombat works. There's different people on each advertisement depending on which game it is. So, like, to me, that's not the same. Because that's the other thing. Is like, we're talking about mascots, not just characters in games. Like, what's your favorite game character? It's what is the best to sell games? Like, what is outside of the game? What is the coolest mascot? If I'm going to buy toys, if I'm going to go buy like a movie or a TV show, like, which of these characters is the coolest character on its own as a character, not just like which of these is the best games. That's a whole different list that we're not doing right now. Because again, like, when it comes back to Halo, I'd argue Halo is a great game. I just don't think they have the best like main character in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
Obviously, I'm wrong because a lot of people like Master Chief, and me telling you that there's books of lore written about it tell you that people are interested in the character of the story. But
right,
you know, I don't have to agree with everybody else.
I also feel like, yeah. Let's see. Well, for Mortal Kombat, I guess, which character do you play as? Like, what's your like go-to?
Honestly, I haven't played Mortal Kombat in forever. I used to like Sub-Zero though. Sub-Zero is kind of my go-to. I like that he can freeze people.
I like Raiden, the guy with the lightning.
Raiden's always really cool. Yeah, like how his like eyes turn into lightning bolts and stuff.
Yeah, you can like teleport across the map and shit. Like, in
I
a
don't know. I was
flow.
never big on fighting games. I didn't really play a lot of Mortal Kombat. I also never owned Mortal Kombat, I don't think. So like that's not a game. There are fighting games that I grew up playing more, like Soul Calibur. I probably put over 1,000 hours into, whereas Mortal Kombat I've maybe played like 30 hours in my entire life, like just from playing with friends because it's such a popular series. But it's not a game that I ever owned and or practiced, so I don't have like a main in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Super Smash is probably one of the fighting games I put the most time into. That's
Same.
got
That's
that's
also
got a
just
lot
because
of
other
the
people are
characters
playing
from
it.
our list.
Like I didn't own Super Smash Brothers until it came out on the Wii, I think. Like that's how long it. So I didn't own really Nintendo consoles growing up, so I only
Oh
got that to
man.
play with friends. And the only game I owned on the Wii was Super Smash. I owned one weekend. Then I got the new Mario Brothers Deluxe or whatever that thing. But
The
for a long
side
time, the
scroller or
only
the
game I
3D
owned
one?
was Wii Sports and fucking Super Smash Brothers. It's like there are no other games on the Wii. That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean that does hold you over pretty well. Super Smash Brothers is a pretty like you can play that shit for days. What up, Manasuete?
The Wii used to be fucking crazy too. I remember it sold out for a really long time. Like you used to have to pay over.
Yeah.
It's like what PS5 and shit is doing now. Like you just could not find it, so you're like people were buying it and then flipping it. It was like a crazy aftermarket for hardware. But
Yeah, is
Yeah.
is the PS5 still like super sold out?
I don't know. I don't follow console stuff at all. PC gamer for life now. I haven't had a console.
Yeah.
I guess that's
I
not true. I have a
remember
Nintendo Switch, but besides the Nintendo Switch, I haven't had a console since Xbox 360. So I'm several generations behind.
yeah, I feel like the Nintendo consoles are super worth it because like the Nintendo games are like tailor made for the console experiment or experience that they like made, you know, like the
They're also
motion
just good.
control and all
Like
that.
the last Call of Duty I bought, I felt like I wasted $60 and felt ripped off and like hated my life. I don't really ever feel that when I buy a Mario game. I'm just like, holy shit, I just entered this amazing fantasy world and that was a spectacular experience that I enjoyed. Like
Yeah.
generally I don't really get that taste when I'm buying Activision games. It's like 9 out of 10 times I buy it, I'm just like, okay, you just reskinned the last game and like it's the same shit, but like not good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially like the Call of Duty franchise at this point, whereas like I was real into like Modern Warfare 2, but every game after that was like a slight variation on that. It didn't like.
I was really
reinvent,
into the World
like,
War
the
II one,
gameplay.
so I bought like a couple of years ago. They
Oh,
did
yeah.
like a new World War II one, and I was like, oh, I love the original ones, which are all World War II. So let's buy into this one. It's just like it wasn't good. I don't know. The levels kind of sucked. Like I don't know. It was not a very good game.
Yeah, I remember what was it? Call of Duty. I forget which Call of Duty it was, but there was like the World War II one where you had like the storming of the beach at Normandy level at the end. That shit was intense, dude.
That
That
might have
game was
been
hard to
the like second series because the first ones were PC only. Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3 was the first one that made it to Xbox, but 1, 2, and 3 were World War II, and 1 and 2 were PC only, and then number 3 was released on the Xbox. So, like, I played a shit ton of the first Call of Duty, but that was a PC game. It was not an Xbox game, and those were the ones I was really into. And then they took a break for a while, and they did all the modern shit. And then they came back with the World War II game. That's probably the one you're talking about. And that's when I was in high school, and then went through college, and then after college, they went back to World War II after they did a bunch of fucking more modern stuff. And they might have did like Vietnam as well. They did like Black Ops, which I think was Vietnam or something. But they did a bunch of other wars, and then they went back. It was basically just a cash grab. It was like you didn't do anything new from the old games. You just like re-shot out the same stuff. But like it was also with the new UI and like the new stuff. So they basically took the old game and made it worse. It was like everything I liked about the old game. It was like not everything I liked about the old game. It was like all the shit I don't like about the new games mashed into the old game, basically. I also don't like. I don't like rewarding people. Like the difference between Mario Kart and fucking Call of Duty. If you get 50 kills in a row, you just end the game with a nuke. In Mario Kart, you get hit by a blue shell, and it makes it fair for other people. Like I don't like the fact that they give advantages to people who already are doing better than other people. Like I never understood that. I always thought that was like the worst fucking PvP design. I also hate the fact that you can't get the good guns unless you play a million hours. Like you fucking log in, some dude has a gun that's just better than you, and you realize you have to be level 50 to unlock it and use it. And it's like, oh great, so I have to play for fucking 400 hours just to be able to use this gun to kill this guy. Like I always hated Call of Duty for that. That's why I'm a much bigger fan of stuff like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, you both start out with the same fucking money, and you can buy like the same list of guns ish. I guess terrorists have different guns, but it's like much more even as far as like everybody has access to the same stuff. It's also why I like Overwatch and Valorant. It's like much more. I don't know. You don't feel like you're getting as wrecked as a noob, even though you still get wrecked as a noob in those games.
Yeah, that's true. I still get wrecked, but it feels like I could not be getting wrecked if it's not because I didn't put in as many hours.
I also played a shit ton of Call of Duty growing up, so it's not like I'm saying I don't like Call of Duty. I just like fell off from the series. We also bought like every Call of Duty from like Call of Duty 1 to 6 or something. Like we played a lot of Call of Duties because we played the first 3 and then we played Modern Warfare. I think Black Ops is where we stopped getting them. My family, we're just like, yeah, there's too many fucking Call of Duties.
Oh yeah, I think I used to go for in the World War II one. It was always the trench gun, like that shotgun. Just fucking.
Sounds okay.
Around. That can
like the
great at close range.
PPSH. It's the Russian. It's like the submachine gun. It's not the rifle.
Oh yeah.
And then I liked I think it's the Karsk. I liked the German. It's like the German rifle, which is kind of like it's almost like an AK-47. But I use rifles almost always because headshots. I'm
surprised you didn't go with the M1 Grand was the one I was always playing with for a rifle.
I think it's the M1 Grand, and that's like a bolt action rifle that you have to reload after 6 shots.
Yeah, and you can't like reload it halfway through or something. Like it just burns any unused ammo.
Yeah, it's like you load in a clip and then you can use. But if you reload, you throw away whatever's left in the clip. That one's pretty good. But yeah, that's definitely more of my speed than like the shotguns are okay, but like I don't know. We're getting into like Call of Duty meta. It's like it depends on what level you're on, like where you're playing. But like a lot of Call of Duty levels have huge open fields, so like the shotgun's not going to do you very well.
That's true. Yeah, I would go in like the levels that were like urban environments or stuff. I would definitely use the shotgun. I'd also like hip fire all the time, just because that gun just had an insane spread and it was easy to just like run full speed around a corner and hip fire and blow somebody away.
Jeff says these are all S tier. I will say we did include pretty much exclusively great game series.
Yeah, based on these, I had to I made my list and they were mostly A and S, so I had to based on all of these characters, I had to reshuffle them a bit. Only one made it down to D tier for me though. We'll see.
Another thing which I keep saying too is you're not judging the game series, you're judging the character. Like, how cool is this character outside of the game? Would you buy plush dolls of it? Would you watch a movie starring this character? Like, that's sort of, I think, how we should be judging this more than these are all from iconic game series over the last 20 years. Like, you're not going to find oh, this was some fucking bum series that only launched one game and failed. Like, those are not on this list. So.
Would you watch a movie starring this character voiced by Chris Pratt?
Yes, for Mario. I think the Mario movie looks fun. I'm not
I think so too.
It'd be cool if they used the original voice actor, but it's not gonna ruin the movie for me. It's
not a deal breaker for me. I really like what I've heard so far from Charlie Day for Luigi, and there's a new trailer recently where they teased Donkey Kong's voice. That was pretty fun. It's pretty much just Seth Rogen not really doing a voice.
Are you talking about this specific Luigi? I can tell you our qualifications. In order to be a mascot, you have to be used in advertisements for a game. So
it has to be
I'm guessing you're asking what is this model from? And I think this model is from Mario Kart, but Luigi's from Luigi's Mansion. If we're talking about why Luigi is on this list, you have to have your own game. So Luigi's Mansion, Wario is WarioWare, Yoshi would be from the Yoshi series.
WarioWare rocks.
That's not where I've sourced the images from. So if you're asking specifically that image, I just Googled all these. I Googled profile picture because they're square and then the name of the character. So these are all from different sources and stuff. I don't know exactly what. I think it might have been Mario Kart of some sort, though, that model's from. Yeah, we didn't include, we didn't include, Peach from Mario. We didn't include, all the characters. We were talking about that yesterday or the day before. We were we could do Bullet Bill and Goombas and all that stuff, but we're not doing all the characters. We're just doing, people who have their own games that are marketed, the mascot of the game.
Oh, I got this Almond Joy here. Yes.
So we do a couple off the rails before we hop into our tier list. Give some people time to flow in.
I had a couple
We
good
gotta-
off the rails one this week.
I think we got a lot. I gotta figure out where our last one was.
God damn, that's good. That's a joy.
When is the Mario opening day? It's got to be coming up soon, right? They've been advertising for a while.
I'm really excited for the Mario World that they're opening here at Universal Studios.
I watched a video, the one in Japan, is it? I think, right?
Yeah,
It looks pretty cool.
I'm excited for that. I'm definitely gonna go to that.
It does look kind of like
Go hit a little Starbucks.
it looks fun, but it looks like it's just gonna be like hectic as fuck if it's crowded. Like it looks like it'd be fun if you're like with a smaller group and it's closed off, but like every video I've seen, it's like people taking turns to just like hold their phone up to the thing real quick, and it's like you're not actually really getting to like the full experience of like playing in this playground. It's like you're just waiting in lines to like scan something. Which is like, yeah, in an ideal world, this looks awesome if you could just run around and do all this stuff without waiting in line. But in real life, you're gonna be in Los Angeles with a bunch of fucking tourists, and like it's gonna be impossible to get to any of the shit. And like, I don't know. Like, I think it looks cool, but just knowing me, like, I probably wouldn't enjoy it that much. Is fucking
Yeah, they recently had like the employee preview day where like if you work at Universal, you can go and like see the like the preview all the attractions and stuff, but it was closed to the public. I feel like that's like the ultimate experience because like it's all brand new. Everyone who's like a character worker is like super excited to like try out their like character, and there's no crowds.
I think a lot of it's just going on the right time. Because even Disney can be like kind of a miserable experience if you go on the wrong day. Like Disney's fun, but like you can wait like 3 hours to get on like fucking Space Mountain on the wrong day. Like it's just like, yeah, it's
that's
fun,
true.
but it's not that fun. Like you're spending hundreds of dollars to wait in hours of lines. Like
The way the fast pass system works too is like if you don't understand that, you can have a worse time for sure.
yeah, the fast pass does definitely help. It also helps like, I don't know, if you go like the week of Christmas or like the week of Thanksgiving when people are like not traveling to amusement parks. My family used to always try to go like in the middle of December. It used to be way less crowded if we went then than like the summer. And also like the best times are like at night. Like I would always skip the fucking parade. They do the parade every night at like 9 or whatever. I remember like one night I rode Splash Mountain 6 times in a row. Like they didn't even make you get off the log. You just kept going because everybody was watching the parade and it was dark and nobody wanted to get wet. And they're just like, fuck it, let's go. But like moments like that are like the best time I've ever had at Disney. And it's like, if this could be the experience every time, this would be the shit. But like most of the time you're just waiting in line. But there were every once in a while like a magic moment where you'd find like an empty. Also like there are rides you can get on over and over, but it's not Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
Like those are always the ones that have crazy waits and are like everybody wants to do. So like if you can get to ride one of those multiple times in a row, it's like that shit rocks.
That's true. Splash Mountain is like Songs of the South themed, right? It was like,
Yeah, it's really all about that last drop. The ride
Yeah.
itself is good. VIP one day is the same price as the 3-day hopper, and it's way the fuck better. You're saying the 1 day is better or the 3-day hopper is better? I don't know if I know the difference between VIP and not, to be honest. I also haven't been to Disney in quite some time.
yeah. I know for Universal it was like I don't know, like $20 more for like a season pass versus like just a single day pass. So you might as well just get the season pass.
That's
if
how
you live out
most
here.
like museums and stuff are like that too. When you go to a museum, it's like you can get a day pass for $25 or pay $40 and you can come back as many times as you want. They do they always do shit like that where you're like, it's a better deal, and then you only go once a year and then they make money.
Yeah.
But all right, let's play this off the rails.
Oh,
This one's called Wait What Dash. It's a kid
I
on
don't know
some sort of.
if you've ever played on one of these like things at a playground.
It looks like a
I mean,
trampoline, but I think it's a little spinny wheel.
Yeah, it's like one of those wheels. She's actually running around it. And then check it out.
Wow.
God damn, dude. Like she makes it look easy, but that's like the ultimate goal of playing on that toy.
I feel like we might have to like skip off the rails. The resolution of this looks so bad. Like this is almost unwatchable. Look at that. That looks horrible.
Oh damn, that does look pretty bad right now.
Is Paul also streaming right now? Like, why is their internet so shitty?
I don't think so. Definitely not.
But yeah, that's like. I wouldn't want to watch this if somebody is streaming and it's just like a bunch of pixelated nonsense, and you're like, look at this. I don't know. Technical difficulties. Let's see if the next one loads better. Mark out one.
Yeah, I'll have to
That was
upgrade
impressive
our
though. That
internet.
woman fucking bounced.
Right? I feel like I've tried that. Like even getting running like that is fucking.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
The prompt says Microsoft making the startup sound of Windows, and just guys getting hype over a fucking.
Oh, okay, that's what's happening.
So that's supposed to be like the inception of that in the studio, and that's probably the reaction of some dude making like a fire verse or beat for like, some actual music.
Yeah, I see. So they're all like, okay. I was like confused what the commotion was about.
See if I can find, like the odd story of how Brian Eno composed the Windows sound. This is actually like my realm of shit. Brian Eno is like one of the most famous ambient composers of all time. He's also famous for like, he worked with Roxy Music in the 70s, and then he transitioned to working with David Bowie. David Bowie has like, I think it's called like the Berlin Trilogy. He released like 3 albums in the late 70s that are like more heavily featuring synthesizers. It's like after he did his kind of like funk and soul period, which was like Young Americans. He went from like psychedelic rock, Ziggy Stardust, to kind of like funk and soul, Young Americans, and then he transitioned into this German phase where he did weird kind of electronic music. That was produced by Brian Eno. And then eventually Brian Eno went on to compose the Windows 95 startup theme. But like the story behind it is kind of fun. Let's play this music.
His most famous song is the Windows. Dun, dun, dun.
It probably is like more people have heard that than any of his other music, I would say.
I don't know. That's a pretty fucking famous sound.
But as far as like him being influential in music, I wouldn't say this is his most influential piece, because he has influenced real musicians outside of this composition. But this is probably the most widely heard piece, just because a lot of people at Windows 95.
Okay.
All right, here he says. It says, once you listen to a composition, it sounds rather complicated, ethereal, perfectly crafted. Surprisingly, it was made by the king of ambient music, Brian Eno, who was tapped by Microsoft's executives to create this piece of music. They gave him a long string of adjectives the sound needed to capture. Quite a task. Why don't they give us that string of things? But they're like, they like give him a list that was like, we want this to sound sexy, smart, fat, and like they gave him like a page long of stuff, and they're like, and it's 3.5 seconds. He's like, you can't even read that many definitions in 3.5 seconds. How you want me to create that much emotion in this short piece?
He nailed it, man. With that fucking dun, 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 it's sexy, it's fat.
He's like, the idea came up at a time I was completely bereft of ideas. I'd been working on my own music for a while and was quite lost, actually. And I really appreciate someone coming along saying, here's a specific problem, solve it. The thing from the agency said, we want a piece of music that's inspiring, universal, blah, 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 optimistic, futuristic, sentimental, emotional. This whole list of adjectives. And at the bottom, it said it must be 3.25 seconds long. I thought this was so funny and amazing thought to actually try to make a little piece of music like making a little tiny jewel. Eno soon became obsessed with this task, and he created 84 different pieces of music, the other 83 of which I'd love to see the light of day at some point. I got completely into this tiny world, tiny little pieces of music, he continued. I was so sensitive to microseconds. At the end of this, it really broke a logjam in my own work. Then when I'd finished that and I went back to working with pieces that were like 3 minutes long, it seemed like oceans of time. And the funny thing is Brian Eno is known for like making ambient music and making 15, 20-minute long songs. So like he kind of revolutionized an entire genre of music by making like, he has a music called like, it's like music for airports, I think it's called. And it's just like really long, drony ambient music. Each song's 15 minutes long. But it's just funny that like he ended up having to train his brain to make 3 minutes or like 3-second songs. So that even a 3-minute long seemed long when he's the guy that makes 15-minute long songs. So I thought that was fun. But yeah, I feel like a lot of work went into that you might not know, just for like, oh yeah, like you might not know that a world famous composer composed 83 versions of it to end up with a like it's like it seems so simple, but like a lot of fucking labor went into this. It also like I don't know. If you're in the music world, Brian Eno's kind of a big deal as a music producer. He's very innovative.
That
Yeah,
is pretty
thanks for
good,
Mark just sending that thing and teed me up for my fucking music knowledge. Let's try one more, and then let's get into our tier list. If this doesn't work, maybe save these for next week when the internet's better.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I know my screen looks really blurry, Jeff. You know what might be happening? I wonder if Wi-Fi is on. No, Wi-Fi's off. This is hardwired.
That's crazy how fucking... Yeah, weird.
We got rid of our second internet connection. We're no longer a profitable company. We cannot afford to pay for a second internet connection. So we're now on one internet connection, and you can see why we bought a second internet connection. It is showing you right in your face right now. Yeah, we used to have a separate internet connection just for this computer so we could stream shit better, but we don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to upgrading our existing internet, though. This is pretty shitty.
Yeah. I also don't think it was that much more to get like the higher speed.
Let's see.
I wonder if I share my screen if it'll look better. This is so fucking pixelated. It's insane. Maybe if we make it smaller, we'll have less pixels to load. Listen to that music. What the fuck? The person just kicked through the fucking...
It just doesn't give a fuck anymore, dude.
Well, you can hardly fucking see this, but that person just kicked through. Like, you have to walk through this thing to scan your subway card, and there's like a gate stopping you from walking through it that I assume opens when you scan your card, and someone just like walked through it and just shattered the fucking glass. It looked like I don't know, like a scene from The Matrix or some shit when they're walking in. When he goes through the metal detector, and he opens up his jacket, and all those fucking guns.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that. A badass entrance.
That kick it's very like just... he barely breaks his stride.
Yeah, it looks very casual.
Yeah.
Let's see if I share my screen, if it somehow creates a better look.
Yeah, let's see.
Take that off.
Let's see. Ooh. Marcy's here too, but she's right here. So you can't see her.
How does this look? This is actually better.
That's much better. Weird.
That's such a savage kick.
Dude, they're fucking out of fucks to give.
That person must be going through it backwards. They must have missed a train and are pissed. That would make sense.
Oh.
It looks like it shatters so easily, though. That person looks like a fucking like Incredible Hulk or something. Like, I feel like I couldn't shatter glass that easily. Or maybe it's like, it's got to be the angle. It's got to be like, the force of them hitting it is not what cracked it. It's the force of it bending against that metal thing. It's like trying to figure out the physics behind this. So like, you shouldn't be able to just kick through glass that easily, but it's because it's cracking at the spine where it's attached to that thing, and it's like that's a loose connection, I think.
Huh.
I watched that video of like Mark Rober making glitter bombs, and he showed off that like you can break a car window super fucking easily if you just apply pressure to the right point. Like, it's all about like where the pressure is.
Yeah, I like McKay's assessment here though, where it's probably missed the train and it's going backwards through the fucking thing.
That makes sense to me.
That makes it even more crazy though, because isn't there like a way out of a train station without having to, destroy the entrance thing?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the scanners are on this side, so like you're supposed to walk in, scan, and then go through. I don't even see scanners on this side, so they're definitely walking through the exit.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know though. There's somebody following them. Like, that person following them looks like they're also
the person following them probably just doesn't know where to go.
Oh yeah, then they just stop. They're like, "Oops."
Yeah, there you go. Like, that's not the right way.
Yeah, so that person's just being a dick. We solved it. Okay.
That's pretty funny.
Got down to the bottom of it. I'm glad this works better, but I'm still confused why the other internet was not working. You'd think that like the same computer would have the same latency.
Yeah, that's super weird.
All right, so this one's a little picture of kid looking at what looks pretty obviously like a penis to me, and then they say it's headphones. She also looks a little bit like headphones, but it's probably a dick.
Then he starts dancing like he's wearing
Yeah, the kid
headphones.
starts dancing like he's wearing headphones, and then play some electronic music that'll probably get us flagged.
Headphones. Sounds pretty great.
Oh no, I closed the thing. I wonder, maybe I'll just share my screen for this as well.
Yeah. That seemed to work better. Let's see.
Yeah, this looks better. That was weird.
Oh yeah.
Crisis averted. One problem is now I can't like flip through OBS, but we're not doing marbles and shit, so that shouldn't matter. All right, let's start our best video game mascot.
Yeah, these are all very cool characters, I'd say. So with that in mind, I'm gonna be a little bit more like ruthless on what gets above,
Yeah, these are all real solid game series. These are all franchises that have lasted like most of these. There's a couple like Spyro is kind of like dated. Spyro didn't make it past.
Yeah, I don't remember the most recent Spyro game, but I did play Spyro back in like the 90s and 2000s.
But most of these are like 20-year-old characters. So like these are not these are heavy hitters. These are people that have been tested. The public the public basically agrees they like these characters, which is why they've been selling games with them for 20 years. So like this list is not going to have a lot of D tier in it as far as like these things just suck, but I do think you should approach it not as if what is the best video game, not as what is the best series, but what is the best character. Like if you weren't playing the game, which character are you most likely to interact with? Like if you went to a store and each one of these was a plushie doll, which one would you want to buy just for the look of the plushie doll more so than like the character or the game, but it's kind of hard. It is kind of hard to like separate them because obviously you get to know the characters through the game. Like that's where you learn the lore and stuff. So they're kind of tied to their games. You can't be like, I don't take the game into account at all, but I do think you should be like, if I wanted to go see a movie, I feel like that's the best way to say it, not the toy. Because for the toy, you might be buying it just because you like the game. But for the movie, it's like you have to like the story and the character. So that's a better one. If you were to go see a movie, which one of these characters, like what would you rank the movie as your likelihood to go see the movie? I guess.
And I feel like Bomberman the game is underrated, and they constantly are putting out new Bomberman games that fucking rock. But I'm not sure if I want to see a Bomberman movie.
I'd see a Bomberman movie. That could be cool. I like Bomberman.
Yeah, maybe I spoke too soon. Bomberman could be like just this badass character.
It could be like
it'd be hilarious, actually.
He'd be a good villain, to be honest. He'd be a good like terrorist, just blowing shit up with bombs all the time. All right, but let's get started. And this first one's actually probably one of the like, it's up there with Spyro. Banjo-Kazooie. I love Banjo-Kazooie as a character, but he's really only around for like 2 games on N64. I don't think he's been around since then.
Yeah, Banjo. It's like that's 2 names, right? The bird's name is Kazooie and his name's Banjo. Is that right?
Banjo is the name of the, what is he, like a monkey or I don't know what the fuck Banjo is. Whatever Banjo is, he's the name of the big dude, and then Kazooie is the bird. And the bird like is in his backpack and it can like fly, and he uses it like a parachute, I believe. It's kind of like it can fly with him and he can like zoom places. Honestly, don't even really remember this game that much, for being totally honest. I do remember playing it and enjoying it. I also remember this being like a very like enjoyable character. Like he was a fun character on Nintendo. And I think I played like the multiplayer mode more than the first player mode because I didn't really have an N64 growing up. I got one like 3 years after it came out and got like a couple games, but I wasn't playing through like all the single player games. And I remember Banjo-Kazooie had kind of like some sort of PvP 4-player multiplayer mode that was like a mini game, but not the full game, and that's what we played the most.
Oh yeah, I played him a little bit in Smash, but for me, I feel like he is like B or C tier because he did fall off, and I'm not sure I care to see him in a movie or like making a comeback either. It's like I don't know, he's all right. Like if he was a paid download character in Smash, I'd be
I think he was a paid
like,
download character in Smash.
okay. So if you had to pay for him, I don't know if I bought him. I might have.
I
But
think I did because I got that like.
oh,
Oh, there's not a
season
blend
pass.
today, Baggy. Just FYI. There will not be a blend tomorrow either, but we will probably have a blend next Friday. And we might have a sticker blend. Our stickers are supposed to come in tomorrow, so if we can figure that shit out by next week, we might have some stickers ready to go. Should be fun. Oh yeah, let's see. Did I do the poll? The poll
I'm
is
giving
live.
him, I'm
What
giving him a
tier
B.
is Banjo Kazooie? You know, is it B or do I want to say C tier?
I don't know. I feel like he's kind of like, I don't know, his involvement in Super Smash Brothers at all is also just like, I don't know, he doesn't make me think of Nintendo. I feel like it's not. Is he from like Nintendo originally, or
Yeah, but this is not
is he like adopted by
who's
them?
in Super Smash Brothers. This is like, would you go see a movie starring this character? That's how you should be
Yeah,
framing it.
I'd be hesitant on him.
You know what? When I frame it that way, I will say B because I feel like he's an entertaining character, and even just like the buddy relationship between Banjo and Kazooie is kind of like an entertaining, like I don't know. I feel like
Oh,
that'd
like
be
that little like the dynamic. Okay, sure.
yeah. It's
I
like a
feel like
buddy. It's like a buddy movie. Like they're getting to know each other. Maybe they're like at the beginning of the movie they're not friends. At some point they split up, and then they realize they need each other to accomplish the last task. I can see like a fun story happening around Banjo and his pal Kazooie.
okay, yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess I would watch that movie, and I do like he had a cool platforming game. It's like a Mario style, kind of like fucking way before like wait, wasn't it? It's kind of like open world almost. I guess it was like a 3D game, but like you know,
All right,
it was like tracks that
let's
you
do a
would
quick
finish.
share the screen off of it. Share
Pretty
screen.
sure that's what it was. Let's see. Yeah, it's like this open world kind of like. Yeah, okay. This is totally what I remember. It's like a platformer, and eventually you get the Kazooie
There
guy.
you
Yeah,
go. That's what I was talking about. Where like you can fly with.
Yeah, it's like a platformer, like Super Mario World, kind of, but with more like
This is the one I
like
remember.
mobility kind of things.
You could play 4-player,
Oh, what?
and is like a first-person shooter almost. You're like shooting at each other with the birds. Like you hold the bird, and the bird is your gun. But like this is the version I played most of Banjo Kazooie because I never owned the game, so I only played it with friends, and the only way you could play. But I think this might have been the second game. Like the sequel had multiplayer. I don't know if the first one did.
Yeah, I don't remember the multiplayer in this. Damn. I don't think I
Where
ever
are
played.
you? Sorry, I'm reading on the KYS. She said, "Where are you doing the fiat order for this first set? I'll PayPal if the store isn't up yet. We'll probably do it on Shopify, but our plan is to do Shopify. Shopify costs about $30 a month, so if we can cover the cost of Shopify by selling enough stickers, we're going to continue to do that. But if we don't, then we are going to shift to PayPal. But there's like a 3-month trial for Shopify, so we're hoping that we can turn it into a profitable venture before the 3 months is up, and then it will be self-sustaining. But for at least the first couple of drops, we'll be doing Shopify, and then we'll see if it's self-sustaining. We'll see how it does.
This is totally like first person, like this, is like GoldenEye or something.
It also makes me think of
Crazy.
it's like from the same era as like Diddy Kong Racing. Diddy Kong didn't make this list. I do feel like though
Diddy did it.
Diddy is not as cool as Banjo Kazooie as far as a character goes.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess Banjo Kazooie got B.
All right,
That
Banjo.
is the. I feel like that actually, after we saw him for a minute here, I feel like that I'm happy with that. I actually have some fond memories playing that platformer game. Like, I just kind of forgot about it.
Bomberman is next.
He's falling off.
I believe Jeff said is underrated.
I kind of agree. Like, I like the Bomberman games. They're always like mobile games, though. At least in my experience, I always played like the Game Boy Advance Bomberman game back in the day. And let's see what other. There's like
Yeah, big one for
there's like
me
a
was
Nintendo
the
Switch one. That was pretty fun.
a big one for me was the Nintendo DS, because the Nintendo DS,
Oh, that's
you could have Bomberman, and if you owned one cartridge, you could play with 7 other players that didn't need to own the cartridge. They could download it from you. So I had Bomberman on the DS, and I remember playing that with pretty large groups of people, and it was really fun.
Yeah, that game is super fun. And that like ability to like share a game with other people who don't need to have the cartridge was like more rare than you'd think it would be on the Nintendo DS game days.
Yeah. It was
Like
also just a really fun. It was like, I don't know. It's a game that's easy for people to pick up too. Like if you'd never played before, within one round, you kind of get what's going on. It's like set the bomb next to the brick you want to blow up, move away from it, and the power ups are
yeah.
super sick. Where you can get like the row where it takes out an entire row, and then like the bombs get super gnarly. I love
Yeah,
Bomberman. It's a super fun game.
but are you gonna get in line to go see this shit
Yeah,
in
that's the
theaters?
question. Is I don't know any lore about Bomberman. Like, has there
Right,
ever
that's what
been
I'm
lore? Like when I played the game, I played through the single player, and I feel like there wasn't really lore. It's just kind of like blow shit
it's just
up.
blow this shit up. Which is I don't know if I'm trying to see that in a movie. Like, is that gonna hold me over for a whole feature film?
I'm gonna go C tier.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd
As a
watch the movie,
character,
but it's gonna be like the
he
Rampage movie with The Rock, where it's like this probably isn't gonna be a good movie. I'll watch it, but I know it's not gonna
Gonna
be good.
Rampage. Dude, Rampage was yeah, I think C or D for me because as a character, Bomberman isn't like he doesn't really have the lore or like I
I
don't
do
know
think though, like
a
outside of
compelling
lore, it's a
story.
cool character as far as like if I was to buy a plushie, I think it looks cool. Like I like the shape and
He
the
does look cool,
circularness.
yeah.
He's very distinct. So like I do think that has points. Like I think I wish
I'm
Angler
like
like had
trying to
more.
rack my brain because I did play like it was a single player game on the Game Boy Advance, and you had to like progress through all these levels. I just don't remember why. Like I
I
think it
don't
was
remember
just
either, but if I'm being
blow up
totally
this
honest,
thing.
every game I've ever played, I skip through the story. Like I don't care about game stories. I just like the gameplay.
I like the game stories for like most games. If it's a story-based games, like the Arkham games, for example, like the Spider-Man game, I'm like paying attention to the cutscenes. But
I mean,
I'm not gonna
those
like
periods are times where I button mash as quickly as possible to get through the dialogue to beat up some more baddies. That's how I play games. I also don't really play single player games. I mean, you can look in my like top played on Steam is all like multiplayer games, PvP games.
oh my god, what's this guy's name? Bandicoot,
What
right?
tier is Crash Bandicoot? What is a bandicoot? That's a good question. Is a
Isn't that
bandicoot
like
like an animal?
I feel like it's like a wombat or something, isn't it? We're just gonna call him
What?
Crash. I'm not gonna try to spell Bandicoot.
Bandicoot is a mainly insectivorous marsupial native to Australia and New Guinea. Bandicoots are a group of more than 20 species of small to medium-sized terrestrial, largely nocturnal marsupial omnivores. What a fucking sentence. Here, I'll
I
share my
don't
screen
know.
so we can take
I
a quick
remember
look.
seeing him in the video game awards where he did like they had them come down. Like you remember that where he was like lowered down on like that pulley system. It's kind of cringy, honestly.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I don't know. I like Crash as far as like he's kind of a fun character. I feel like he's like a little edgier than like Mario and Sonic. Like he's more of like a teenage character.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Okay, that's
less.
true.
They're less trying
Yeah.
to. Here's what a bandicoot looks at. It looks like a little fucking mouse. They're kind of cute actually. That's
Oh my
funny.
god.
They got the Crash
That's
Bandicoot
nothing like
logo.
what I expected. Okay, he does have that like long face.
This was also like PlayStation's response to Sonic and Mario. So Crash is kind of like the PlayStation. It didn't really ever take off like Sonic and Mario, but this is, I think, like the PlayStation. Like if you had to pick a single character on PlayStation from my era of PlayStation, I'm sure there's stuff that represents it better now. But from like PlayStation 1 and 2 era, this is essentially like what I view as Mario Sonic for.
Okay, I do like what Jeff said. He's like the original Naughty Dog. He is kind of like a naughty character. Yeah, I'd say I'm gonna give him a.
I think it's also made by Naughty Dog Games. That's what he's talking about, the gaming studio.
Oh, is it? Did that studio also make like Last of Us or something? Something huge like that?
You know, I haven't seen Crash Bandicoot 4. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Oh, that one got an A.
Of course, we're all signed in on this computer, so I gotta watch an advertisement.
Oh, what? This looks way more like high end than I thought it would be for Crash.
This is on PS5. That's the other thing, is this series isn't over. Like, say, Spyro. Like, oh, we're getting some obscenities on our screen.
Okay, it's back to its roots, like a platformer.
Dude, this looks dope. I would play this game if I had a
this looks
PlayStation.
cool.
It almost reminds me of, like, do you remember Abe's Oddworld or Abe's Odyssey?
Oh my god, I did. Yeah, that game was
That game
fun.
is cool as shit, and it kind of reminds me of this, where you're like, Abe's was like a puzzle-solving game. That was kind of the fun part of Abe's Odyssey. That game is hard as shit too. I don't think my brother and I ever beat it. We played that game for hours and hours and hours. Abe's Odyssey was so hard.
Oh,
Looks dope, though.
I do remember that one.
Shout out Crash Bandicoot. Which is the right one?
Yeah. I'm kind of glad to see that one get into A, actually. I thought it'd do worse. On my personal list, I put him lower because
I was going to, but then like I hyped myself up by being like, "This is the Mario for PlayStation," and it kind of is. Like, well, that also kind of says a lot about like the Mario of PlayStation is not even like in the same category as Mario's secondary characters. Like, I feel like Crash Bandicoot's probably like equally as cool as Luigi, and Luigi's like the fucking clone of Mario. Like Mario's. Like Nintendo has so many iconic characters. Like we're about to go through them, like Donkey Kong, Kirby, Yoshi. Like they have so many more iconic characters. Kind of dunking on PlayStation is my opinion. As far as like,
okay, they made Uncharted and Last of Us. Okay,
they also made the Alien vs Predator game. I remember that because I think I said this. Naughty Dog, they would send you a free pair of underwear with the game. They're like, this game's so scary, it'll make you shit your pants. And there's like a mail-in rebate for a pair of underwear made by Naughty Dog, and it said like Naughty Dog on the whitey tighty strap.
That's pretty funny.
I saw that character. Sweet Tooth is the name of the character. I almost put Sweet Tooth on this list. I love Twisted Metal, but I thought that was kind of more of an obscure character. I wasn't sure if it would have panned out. All right, let's do Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, man, I got a hard time saying anything bad about this fellow right here.
Yeah, he also has his own rap.
Donkey Kong also, like, if you want to get into history of gaming, Donkey Kong spawned Mario because the game that spawned Mario was Donkey Kong. Mario's name originally is Jumpman. Jumpman is the man that jumps to dodge the barrels that Donkey Kong throws. So as far as like history of gaming goes, like Donkey Kong is incredibly important. He's also like a pretty fun character. Like I feel like you get to learn his personality a little bit in like the N64 Donkey Kong series, and I don't know, Donkey Kong and his zany group of friends. They're a lot of fun. So I might be leaning towards S tier for this.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, Toon says you can't see the main screen here to share just the cameras. I'm seeing that same thing. Yeah, that's weird. Me too, actually. If I check over on.
Let's try this. Shit.
Weird. Hey-o.
We got pixelated or nothing. Great.
No, it's just like nothing. Yeah.
Why is that happening?
There we go. Now I'm seeing it as just like a black screen now.
Yeah, I see a black screen too.
Weird.
I think StreamYard's fucking up. So we can see it in StreamYard. Like it looks fine on our screen, but then you see like it's just showing nothing on the actual screen.
Yeah, it's just nothing. Yeah. That's super weird.
Well, I guess we'll just not use a visual representation then if we can't see it, but this kind of sucks. I wonder if like leaving StreamYard and then coming back will help. Yeah, I have tried resharing it. It's not really doing anything. Like the other thing that doesn't make sense is this is like this is a user. Like I'm gonna try leaving and coming back because it makes sense.
Yeah, that is weird. It is like I still see it as just a big black screen right now.
But we can see it like in StreamYard, we can see it, but when it's broadcasting to Twitch, it's not showing you what we see. It's kind of strange, but yeah, I'll try restarting this computer, see what happens. But
yeah, that is strange.
We can just do audio only for now. Getting our real podcast practice. How are we doing on the vote? Should I go S tier or A tier? You know what? I'm going A tier.
I
I think
think
Donkey
I feel
Kong's
like
cool.
I'm
He's
going
not my
S tier.
favorite.
I mean, Donkey Kong Country, A tier 1. Damn, I just voted S. That's weak. Donkey Kong
Oh fuck! I
Country.
lost the tier list too. I should have saved that. Whoops. So I just restarted the computer. The tier list is on. But I think we can remember. We've only done like a couple so far.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe you guys went A instead of S. Did you ever play Donkey Kong Country or
I don't know if is that the one on the N64?
it was on the I played it on the Game Boy, and I think there's like
I played the ones where you
it
could
might
like.
be an N64 one.
I played the one where you have like the homie that has like yellow hair that can do like a helicopter whip with the hair. I don't know what that one is. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a smaller monkey. It wasn't Diddy Kong, but is like a little helper. And I think it was
I
a
don't remember that
female
one.
monkey, and she could like whip her hair around. And that would like make you
Huh.
fly.
I don't know. I think the one, yeah, Donkey Kong Country, I think was on the SNES. Yeah, like Jeff was saying. That one, it was like a 2D like side scroller, like your OG Mario game almost.
Diddy Kong? That might.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like
That could
that's
be.
right. I was like, is
I think
Diddy Kong and Diddy Kong the same thing? But I think they're different.
Kong's got a whole like family of you know, different Kongs. There's Diddy Kong too. Diddy did it.
I also learned when I was looking up the history of the Mario names that Mario was sued by whoever created King Kong for Donkey Kong because they said it was like they were ripping off Kong, like was not associated with monkeys outside of King Kong. So them calling it Donkey Kong, they said it was like a ripoff of the King Kong film. Candy
Damn,
Kong is the name of it.
you had me fooled, dude. I was totally buying it when you said Diddy Kong. I was like, yeah, Diddy
It
Diddy.
sounded right. There's a bunch of Kongs though, because yeah, they've got the old dude. If you do like the one on N64 had like a whole series of like you went to different parts of the like different towns and each one had a different monkey running it. There's like the old one.
Oh yeah. I know there's like all the little Bowser children too. Like you got like Lemmy and Larry and
Yeah, those are in like the new Mario game, right?
I don't remember all of their names.
You gotta
But
fight
they've
all
been in
those.
there for a long time. Like Mario like World or whatever, Super Mario World on the SNES. Whenever you defeated those like world castles, it was like one of those characters guarding it. So there's always different ones. You know? Hi, baby.
All right, let's see if this is working now. All right, we're working. All I need to do is restart my computer. You try turning it off and turn it back on? All right, let's get back to our tier list. Find the link.
Nice. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'll make sure I hit my
And it looks great now too. What the fuck? Maybe our internet just fixed itself. Who knows? And the tier list saved. Perfect. So we have Donkey Kong in A tier. Kirby. See, I think I like Kirby better than I like Donkey Kong. I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Kirby's such like a
I
cute
guess
little fucking goober, dude. I love Kirby. He's a cute little guy.
yeah, I played that game Kirby's Dream Land. That was pretty fucking awesome, actually.
I also love the fact that he can like suck
Absorb
people up and
powers.
take their powers. Like as far as like a character, that's just a really interesting like mechanic. And then the fact that they can like puff up, absorb air, and then turn into a balloon and fly, and then he can like turn into a hammer and stuff. Like he's a sweet fucking character, dude. Like he's got a
That's
lot
true.
of.
Also, like that game, where you could like combine different powers. Like you know, like you get like a rock guy, you'd get rock power, and you could get a second rock guy, you'd have like double rock power, or you could get like rock and fire and have like a lava character guy, or you do like fire and bomb and make like fireworks or whatever. I don't know. It's super fun.
I feel like the only reason I wouldn't put Kirby S tier is because it's one of the more annoying characters in Super Smash Brothers. People play Kirby, all they do is the fucking down B move, and they just brick you over and
Turn
over and
into a
over. And you're
rock.
like, learn how to play the fucking game, noob. And but I don't know if I can hold that against Kirby because that's more of a player problem. People that are not good at Super Smash Brothers will pick that as a character very often.
That's true.
I also agreed with this pop and stock that
think
DK
that's true.
is a pioneer in gaming. I said that. It was like Donkey Kong invented Mario, and like all of the characters we know today are spawned off Mario. So like historically speaking, Donkey Kong. I just feel like I don't know. As a character, what's Donkey Kong's? We already went over Donkey Kong, but I feel like I was trying to remember his personality, and I feel like it's kind of the same thing where like
He's kind of a
everybody
hot.
around him is more interesting than he is. Like all the characters they introduce around Donkey Kong are kind of like colorful and interesting, and Donkey Kong is kind of just like the vanilla flavor.
Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of like a hothead. He gets like easily upset. I feel like is kind of his character trait, right? I don't know if that's enough to carry a whole movie, but
I feel like the DK movie would
yeah,
be sick, like because they'd add all these other
I would.
characters
I
and
was gonna
stuff.
say I would still go watch it. I feel like he's
I
gonna
voted
have
S tier
some.
for Kirby though. I like Kirby. Kirby's just such an icon. Kirby is like it's also
That's
like
true.
its own thing as far as like creativity and stuff goes. Donkey Kong's a fucking monkey. Like putting a tie on a monkey isn't that creative. Like Kirby, what the hell is it? Like they invented something from scratch. Like it's its own fucking thing that
He's
doesn't
just
exist.
a ball, a puff. I don't
Yeah, let
know.
me type in
Yeah,
what
I don't
is
know if there's
Kirby.
like, is there like a race of Kirby's, like, or is he a one of a kind? Because I feel like in his game, there's like Waddle Dee, and there's these other characters that he like hangs out with, but there's not like other Kirby's. Or maybe there is, and I just haven't played the right game.
Oh, there's about cool. We can read about Kirby. Kirby, he may only be 8 inches tall, but you should never underestimate this little pink hero. On the planet Popstar, Kirby uses his elastic body and his uncanny ability to absorb enemies to save Dreamland from mischievous King Dedede. Since then, he's gone on
DDD is
countless
also great.
other adventures and even become a force to be reckoned with in Super Smash Bros. Fighting game series. All right, so he's an
Yeah,
8 inch
since the
tall,
original.
elastic pink hero is the best definition we have of what is a Kirby.
Okay,
But I think S
I
tier
feel
one,
like
right?
he's a one of a kind of guy in his world. Although
I
I
feel like
guess
some of the
there is
arguments I threw out now
multiplayer
I'm gonna
games.
have to argue against for Mario because it's like Mario's not that like he's a humanoid. He's not like a super unique like Kirby's actually like a more original character than Mario. If I'm thinking about as far as like you
Marby.
know a plumber is not that original as far as like character design goes. That's also why I think Banjo Kazooie is pretty cool. It's just like a unique character in a sea of game characters. Now that I feel like I should have voted Banjo Kazooie higher. He's a pretty cool dude. Having so many second thoughts. This tier list is fucking with my brain.
There's a
All right.
lot of like
Our
good
next is
characters.
what is the name of
This
this
is the
dude?
God of War. Kratos, I think is his name.
Kratos, right? I don't play
Yeah.
God of War, so I'm kind of biased on
Um,
this.
I mean, based on that last game that came out too, I feel like a movie of him would be pretty badass. Like where he's like teaching his son about, being a demigod or some shit. I don't know. That game looked cool. I didn't play it all the way through. I just saw it at the Game Awards and all the like videos about it.
Should
It looked
change it
really
to
great.
Kratos.
Kratos.
God of War is
Okay.
the name of the game, not the character.
Let's see.
Which, like, isn't this guy like something about him like watching his son or some shit? I don't actually play God of War. I've heard nothing but good things. The new game, I think, won Game of the Year, right? Like, it's like supposed to be a fantastic series. I just
Yeah,
haven't played any of them, so I'm like, this shit was all popping off. One, I was never really a PlayStation guy, and this is a PlayStation game. And then two, like a lot of these have been released after I stopped playing console games.
I also
There
really
was a
like
God of War movie.
his whole thing is also like he's like fighting like I think is like Egyptian or Greek kind of like god characters, and that mythology is just really fun. Although I feel like as a standalone character, I would definitely watch a movie. I'm gonna say like
There is
B
a God
tier.
of War movie.
There's a movie?
I don't know. I personally, the reason I haven't played these games is because I'm not interested in this character or story. So I'm going to vote this low, even though this might be blasphemy. I'm just not into Kratos.
Yeah.
I like more
Mm,
cartoony characters. I don't want some like weird Viking dude. That's not my shit for video games.
that's
I,
true.
I want a
I
little
think
pink cute dude that can swallow other guys and turn into them.
he's not like a character that I'm like expecting to be part of a roster of like lead characters.
I
I
also
feel like
wouldn't buy like the action figure or the
yeah.
like I don't know.
You're right. I feel like C is kind of. I'm gonna vote C as well. I feel like C is fair, although I am interested in playing the game. It looks fucking cool. Game of the week, game of the year.
Well,
I
that's what I'm
feel
saying though.
like
We're not rating it based on the gameplay. We're basing it on the character
yeah,
that is in the game, and I just don't. I don't know. But it's
yeah,
also hard to say because like if you play the game, the story might be really sick, and you might love Kratos, but I don't.
that's
So
true.
moving
I
on.
just haven't played it enough. Is probably what it is. I just know it from like the tertiarily like seeing it. or on the outside.
Eric,
Oh,
yeah.
I
So
have.
speaking of video games, have you guys been watching The Last of Us? I have not. I've heard it's really good though, especially from fans of The Last of Us. People are saying they're doing a really good job at honoring the source material, which is generally what nerds cry about when you release stuff based on nerd stuff.
Yeah, so I haven't really paid attention to the source material, but I have been watching it, and I thought it was pretty good. Uh, the last episode, the third episode that just aired, a lot of people told me they like loved. So I had it hyped up a lot, and I thought it was pretty damn good. But it wasn't like the best episode of television, which is how someone described it to me. But yeah, it's a really good show. It's really well
Is that on
done.
HBO or?
It is on HBO, yeah.
Okay, so I'm doing the next one. This is for Link. I feel like this is a pretty fucking
Oh,
heavy hitter. This is
that
Link
is
from the
fucking
Zelda series. You might have heard of it if you've played Nintendo anytime in the last 30 years.
They also like
pretty
this. Yeah, this guy fucking rocks.
I'm also, this is probably a hater.
This
I'm a
is
hater ass
also
bitch over here. I'd like to come out as a hater ass bitch, so y'all know where I'm coming from. But I don't really like Link. I never really liked Zelda. I think he's kind of a boring character. I just
what?
don't give a shit. I don't know. I'm a
Damn.
Mario boy. To me, it was just like I never made it over to the Zelda fandom. But
Nah, dude.
I'll put him in a B
Link is
tier. I don't think he's horrible, but I just don't like Link. He's not for
he's
me.
the hero of time, dude. He's he's the Wind Waker. I don't know. Link is a fucking kick-ass character, and his like lore is also just this epic, like multi-thousand-year like fantasy story. I don't know. I really like Link.
He looks like fucking. He looks like fucking Legolas. He looks like he should be fucking hanging out in Lord of the Rings, like hanging out with Orlando Bloom, chop and chop.
I mean, I'd be all about that. That's like a more bonus points. I'd vote. That's like a double S tier.
I'm anti
Like,
slanted ears. You guys found my bias. I'm not into elves. Fuck elves.
yeah, clearly. He's also, I guess he's not from the forest. He's like from Hyrule.
Can you be canceled for being racist against fictional races? I'd like to know.
I mean, if it's gonna be against Link, I feel like
If
definitely.
no, I'm going to start my anti-elf campaign and get really into it.
I don't know, dude. That's risky, man. Link is. I feel like Link is high S tier character. You're not gonna get a lot of traction, I think, with your anti-Link hate.
I got one vote in B tier with me.
Boo.
I don't know. I just
Calling
don't.
him boring. Come on, dude. Boring. He like time travels and saves the world. Like,
Yeah, but is he interesting? Like, I don't know.
yeah, I feel like he's interesting. He's got his whole like.
He just reminds me of
grew up.
Luke. I don't know. When heroes remind me too much of Luke Skywalker, I'm just like, yeah. Like, I don't know.
Luke Skywalker, the hero from like the biggest franchise in the universe.
Yeah, he's the worst character in Star Wars. Like, he's everybody's cooler. Han Solo is the cool character in Star Wars, not Luke Skywalker. If you want to be Luke Skywalker, you're fucking lame, dude. That guy is not the cool character in Star Wars. He has no personality. He's just like he is good inside of a human. All he does is the right thing and does good, and that's just a boring. It's not relatable because humans make mistakes and are flawed. So like I like more anti-heroes and people that are like, got
Dude,
shit going on.
Eric's also on board, dude. Loves Zelda series. Played all those games and mains as Link in. Or I guess mains him in Smash. So wait, when you say you made him in Smash, which version of Link? I know Smash has like
Link,
there's a
regular
Toon Link,
Link.
there's a regular Link, and there's like there's a Zelda and a Sheik. So, I think and Ganondorf too. Who knows? Maybe Ganondorf is.
I knew I was being a hater ass bitch. I said it beforehand, but
yeah, that was some bullshit, dude. You're not gonna get any traction with that. I'm telling you.
I also like
Link
I've said
is-
multiple times in the stream, I didn't grow up playing Nintendo. I didn't have Nintendos growing up, so like I don't have the game experience you have, like learning his backstory and shit. So I'm just going based off of like what he looks like and like without really knowing the lore, just being like, oh, this guy's kind of fucking boring compared to like all the other Mario characters. But I don't have the like playing through every series of every game through Marauder's Mask and all that shit where you're like went through adventures and learned to love the character. I don't have that, so I'm just going off of like first impressions, and first impressions is Link is not that cool.
Yeah, for me it was also like that Ocarina of Time game was just like so groundbreaking at the time when it came out, at least to me, where it was like, you'd see the mountain in the background and then eventually you could go there. Like it was such a huge game. It felt so big. Although I feel like if you play it today, it's pretty small compared to, modern games.
You know who I do like? I like fucking Ganondorf. I feel like that's a
Ganondorf,
cool. He's like my
badass.
favorite character from Zelda, just based on the way he looks and stuff. Like he's interesting to me. Like I play him in Super Smash, and like I've literally never seen him in Zelda. Like I've never played a Zelda game where Ganondorf shows up, but that's because I don't play Zelda, not because he's not a part of those series. But let's move on.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got
I go
I
for
got
Toon Link, by the way, Eric. Eric plays regular Link in Smash. Toon
I
Link
got
is where
hard
it's at.
fucking vetoed there, but Luigi's next. I
Luigi
like
also
Luigi.
rocks in Smash. He's got that little
Luigi's
karate chop.
he's no Mario, but I feel like Luigi's almost a little more like jovial than Mario. Like he's a little more like silly. Like he's like a
Yeah,
goofy Mario. He's like the goofy uncle version of Mario. I also feel like he's a little more of a klutz. Like Luigi's more
yeah.
likely to like trip over something and like find himself in a comedic situation. I like Luigi.
He's a bigger coward too, for sure. That's like
Yeah, he's
that's
a
his
scaredy
whole
pants.
angle. He's a total
When
scaredy cat.
in
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion, he's terrified of everything all the time. I like Luigi though. I feel like he's a character. People are
Although,
putting
yeah,
him.
he's scared of everything, but he still goes into the mansion
Yeah,
and goes
he's
to save
he
Mario.
does it
He's still a
begrudgingly,
hero.
but he still does it.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll knock off points for Luigi is like he's literally just a copy paste of Mario. They needed a second player,
Yeah.
and they needed to tell the difference between the first and second player, so they changed the sprite color to red to green. So like his inception was kind of lazy, but I do think they have grown him into something that stands by itself and is like he's a distinct, different personality than Mario. Like even if it took years to get him there,
That is fair, I would say.
I'm gonna put him in A tier. I don't think he's S tier. I feel like he's a
I
clone of
think
Mario.
Yeah,
Mario is S
Mario's
tier.
S and then Luigi's like the A tier. I'd give him A tier as well. I feel like B tier is being pretty rough though. People are being kind of ruthless there, voting B tier. Let's see.
Yeah,
I gotta upgrade my minds.
we'll see. We got 20% voting for S tier, 40% for A tier, and 40% for B tier. If A and B tie, we'll go to A because there's a vote S
It's the
bringing
S
it up.
tier. S tier is pulling it up. Yeah, I feel like. Did you ever play Luigi's Mansion? Because I feel like people would be voting A tier if they played Luigi's Mansion. That game is super fun.
I played some Luigi Mansion. It wasn't.
He has.
I didn't
He's
really
got.
like
Oh,
that
go on.
game, but I like
Oh, what?
Luigi.
You get like that crazy vacuum cleaner thing, and you just gotta like suck up a bunch of ghosts, and I don't know.
I'm aware of the game.
I thought it was hilarious.
I never owned it. It's a single player game. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta
I never
own it
really
because it
owned
takes a
Nintendo,
while
so
to get
like all
through.
those single player games, like I'd watch my friends play, or you get to play for like 15 minutes and they hand the controller to somebody else playing. But like
Yeah.
I didn't really get into any. That's also why like Zelda is not for me, is because I didn't play single player Nintendo games. Whereas like I'm very familiar with Super Smash Brothers and like GoldenEye and any of the multiplayer games that were on N64. I played a shit ton with my friends, but like when you go over to your friend's house, you usually don't just like watch them play a single player game.
Yeah. Oh shit. Jeff says Luigi's Mansion 4 is likely coming. Have you
A1.
played? Yeah. Have you played the new GoldenEye, Jeff? They like remastered and re-released GoldenEye. And I feel like
Played one they did on Steam a few years ago. Like they just re-released GoldenEye on Steam, but using the Counter Strike Source engine, and that was pretty
that's
fun.
kind of cool.
But it
That's kinda
died, like,
cool.
the player base died after a while, and then it just, like, you couldn't find a match. Also, like, that game doesn't age very well. It's like
Yeah.
health is super important, like, and it's basically like, if you win a fight, you're just gonna lose in 2 shots to the next fight unless you find a health pack, and there's not a lot of
Yeah.
health packs, so, like, I don't know, it's not like a first person shooter where you can just nail headshots and, like, take out an entire other team. It's like, health is very important and, like, I don't know. It's
That's
not as
true.
skill based because of that. Like you can't just like if you see somebody first and shoot them first, if they have more health than you, they'll still probably beat you in the fight. And the guns aren't powerful enough to like overpower someone because you have to jump. Whereas like
That's
in
true.
Counter Strike, you can have one health and take out the entire other team if you see them and shoot faster. It's like yeah, like the I don't know. It's like one of the first person shooters ever, so it's hard to like really criticize it, but it does not hold up that well. Like it's not as fun as you remember it. They've done a lot better shit with first person shooters. All right, let's do what tier is
Uh,
Mario. I feel like you can't
I
not
thought
pick S tier for Mario. Mario is like probably the most iconic video game mascot of all time. I don't know
yeah,
if that's a bold
let's be real.
statement, but
I feel like Mario just represents video games. Like if you have an image of Mario, it'd be like, oh, this is like, yeah, I'm voting S tier. There's an unequivocal Mario. I really want to see the Mario movie, even though it's voiced by Chris Pratt and not doing a very good Mario voice.
Also, like,
So
you got to know this isn't even the first Mario movie. You're talking about like, would you go see a movie made by this guy? This is not even the first major
that's
budget. There's a Mario movie in the '90s, like a major studio budget Mario movie. So like, Mario's been popular enough to have movies made about him 20 years apart from each other. Like, he's been not only is he popular, he's popular enough to make a movie 20 years after the first one.
this new movie looks like it's gonna be fucking awesome though.
The first movie is pretty bad. I'm not gonna defend the movie, but
Yeah.
live action Mario is a little weird. My first video game was Super Mario World.
Yes.
Does
That's
Eric
such a
go?
good one. That's such a good one. That
See, well, I
Super
didn't
Mario
have
World is
Nintendo's. I did have a Game Boy growing up, and I had like the original Mario on the Game Boy, and I played a metric shit ton of that game. Just like I think it's just the first Super Mario Bros. That were one like the original one that started all of them. Like I played a ton of that game, and then after you beat that, like because it came out later and it was on the Game Boy, it unlocked the Luigi world, and the Luigi world is just a harder version of the Mario world. It's the same levels, but they put harder
yeah.
enemies on each one. And I almost beat that. I got to like World 8, level 4, and I couldn't beat that level. Like I never did. I never beat that cartridge. It was so fucking hard. It was like they took the hardest levels in the game and just made all like 10 times the amount of enemies and all the harder enemies. It got so hard.
Yeah. And you
But
play as Luigi because so he jumps differently and like slides and stuff. It's super different.
I'm not
It's
sure
like
if that was a thing back on the Game Boy one. That is a thing, like on the
in
new
the newer
Super
one
Mario
it
Bros.
definitely is.
U, like the stuff
Yeah.
that we're playing. That is a thing, but I don't know if they added that. That's based on this older version of that with the Luigi worlds, but like I don't know
Yeah.
if the slidey thing was. I was also so young that it could have been. I just didn't realize there's different games, but I feel like Luigi controlled exactly the same as Mario when I was
Yeah.
doing it.
The Mario World one that Eric played, that one had like the Star Road. If you find like the hidden exits on the map, you can get up into the Star Road and like fast travel basically between worlds. But the star levels were fucking tricky, or some of them were pretty. Or the like colorful Yoshi levels, those were pretty trippy too.
I never had one of these. The Super Mario All Stars. I wish I fucking got this on the newest one that dropped on Switch. They dropped a Super Mario All Stars. It
Oh,
came with a
it
Mario
was like
64.
Sunshine at
Yeah, it was like
64
Mario. It was like Mario 64,
and
Mario
Galaxy.
Sunshine, Mario Odyssey. It was like all the main Mario titles. They don't sell that anymore. And if you look on the aftermarket, the CDs are like I think 2x what the drop price was. Like that shit actually like I don't know. It's crazy that a remaster like, but those are all such good games that people just want that disc. Like gamers actually want it and want to hold it and keep it. So there's like three of the best fucking Nintendo games of all time, all on one disc. I didn't realize that like that market could appreciate because I assume that'd just be on sale forever, it'd just be in the digital Nintendo store. But they stopped
Yeah,
selling that. So if you didn't get it on the limited time, now you can't, and now it's like more valuable than it was before. But now that I know that, like if I see another one like that drop, I might buy the physical, even just to try to flip it, like as a game investment. Because I don't know, I've never bought video games to resell them in my life. That's never been
yeah,
not until the NFT space did I realize that was a possibility. But even like Burst just kind of hit me to like, if you buy the right Nintendo games and leave them in their cartridges and or their cases or whatever, like they can appreciate in value. But that's just something I never even thought about before the NFT space because I didn't buy video games as collectibles. I bought them for the utility to play the games.
yeah. You can't get screwed when like they get released digitally. Like I had a physical cartridge of like The Legend of Zelda for the Switch, and then it was like 50, 60 bucks, and then it dropped like to 30 when it became a like downloadable. Let's see, hold on. What
All right,
was
Master Chief is our next one. This is the one that Max and I disagree the most on so far.
this character fucking rocks, dude. I don't know how you
Max is a Master
like,
Chief stan. He thinks Master Chief is the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, the kitty's titties. I think Master Chief is kind of boring. Like I love the Halo series. It's one of my favorite gaming series of all time. I grew up instead of getting fucking Nintendos and shit, my family bought an Xbox, so we played Halo from Halo 1 all the way through. I just don't find Master Chief a particularly interesting character. He has the Luke Skywalker thing where like he doesn't really have a personality. He's just kind of there. Like he's just there to live through the story. You also don't really get to know him because he's covered in that shield or that suit. I don't even really think his armor looks that cool. Like I don't know. I'm not a fan of Master Chief as like a character. Like I don't find him captivating or having an interesting personality. He's just sort of there and a good fighter,
S tier.
which is good for what it is. For like it's fun to play the game as him. But I wouldn't go see a Master Chief movie, nor would I buy a Master Chief action figure or toy. Like it, I don't find it
Okay,
interesting.
okay. So now that I listened through all that nonsense, First of all, I'd say Master Chief's. First of all, the armor I think does look badass, and I feel like the reason we don't see his face or any of that stuff is like because it gives me the like ability to project my own, like that's me in the mask, you know. So it's like I don't want to see what he looks like. I want to be like, that's I'm the Master Chief when I play those games. And then the lore and all the like backstory behind it, I
So
think is
Master
super
Chief is cool because
badass.
it's you and not Master Chief. That's like not even a fucking
Yeah,
character
kind of.
then.
That's like as a first person shooter, like I want to like that's me like gunning down all the Covenant alien
Yeah, then why
guys.
don't you put yourself on this tier list, not Master Chief?
Well, I don't know. He's also just this like straight up badass, like 7 foot like giant guy who just like speaks into this. I don't know. I think he's a fucking kick ass character. He's S tier for sure. He
Is he like
represents
a
like
clone
first
or some
person
shit?
shooters for me.
I remember reading the lore, and he's like, they're like super soldiers that are like cloned and then like from birth raised to be super soldiers, and like I don't know. I just didn't find that
D
a very
tier, fuck
captivating
you
story.
guys. That's
Oh, G
bullshit.
tier one.
Dude.
I didn't even vote. That was all them.
Yeah, wow, bullshit. Even without your vote. Oh man, what the fuck do people not like about Master Chief?
Dude, he's boring. Like, there's nothing interesting about that character. The
Boring.
games are fun. You're being biased by the gameplay. Like, without the gameplay, he's a boring character.
He's like the savior kind of guy who I don't know. He's just like you call on him to come save the world, and then he just steps up and fucking does it like a cold hard badass, dude.
He's just wearing a green fucking armor suit.
E
Like,
tier.
Samus is a way more interesting character if you're gonna go with like an armored badass. Like, Samus is super cool. Samus looks cool.
I'm not gonna
Samus, you
talk shit
also
on
like when you first
Samus.
played it, you know that Samus is a woman. So then when you find out Samus is a woman, there's like, oh shit, like I don't know. There's cool shit around Samus more so than like Master Chief, in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean,
We're going with
Master
Mega
Chief.
Man now, though.
Yeah, I pulled up the Mega Man banner. Mega Man. Okay, I'll say Mega Man is pretty fucking lame. Sorry, he's not like I don't know. I
Mega
know
Man,
there's
I
like
never got into.
cartoons. There's like a bunch of content about him. I'm just like so not into any of it. He's
I like Mega Man. Like, I think he looks cool.
rare.
I enjoy his suit and like the cartoony look. I just never got into the games. I feel like the closest I got to Mega Man was like the Marvel vs. Capcom games. Like that's like I never
Wow.
actually played Mega Man, but he's in Marvel vs. Capcom, so I feel like that's where I've seen him
Yeah,
the most.
he's in Smash Brothers too, but like I'd rather play Samus. You guys are voting S and A and B. I'm gonna vote D tier. Screw you guys voting fucking my Master Chief into D tier.
I'll vote B tier for Mega Man. Mega Man's like
Wow.
he's okay.
He's okay. He's pretty lame. I don't know. Like he's boring. I feel like
I find him much more visually appealing than Master Chief. Like there's something about his art style and his look. Like even just the blue color and shooting the blue is more interesting than just like a camo colored armor. Like if Master Chief had more interesting armor, I think it might be more interesting the character. But it looks like just like the most generic fucking like suit. Millennials can't appreciate anything under 16 bits. That's not true. I voted for Mario, and I started with Mario. That shit was like probably 8-bit, right?
You just sour that fucking like telling it like it is and telling you that Mega Man belongs in D tier. If Master Chief is in D tier, that's like an overstatement for Mega Man. Mega Man's just this lame kind of like.
I think you overestimate how much people like Master Chief. He's just not that interesting of a character.
I don't know. Mega Man's pretty fucking uninteresting too, and just I don't know.
I think
he's just kind of like blasting his little blue thing. I don't know. It's also the villains in Mega Man are kind of like lame. I don't know. I just never got into Mega Man, I guess.
Eric Yo says Max is taking out his anger on Mega Man.
Right, a little bit. I gotta say, maybe I'm being a little harsh on Mega Man.
B. I think B is fine for Mega Man. He's a pretty like mid guy. Pac-Man. This one I'm kind of torn. I grew up playing Pac-Man. Pac-Man was on the Sega Genesis, my first console. We also had Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man was the 2-player version of Pac-Man, and the second player could play as Miss Pac-Man. Or maybe it's the other way around. The first player is Miss Pac-Man.
Miss Pac-Man was just Pac-Man with a bow on her head.
Yeah, it was. This one's like, I don't know. Pac-Man has like no fucking lore behind him. I don't think. Like he's just eating shit because he's hungry and chasing ghosts. Like,
I feel like I don't know. Yeah, would you watch a Pac-Man movie? I don't know. I would want to know what's going on here.
But I will say I would collect like if there's a Pac-Man Funko, I would get that. Like I think Pac-Man is a cool looking character. He's very unique. He's like It's like we're seeing this version, but he's also like, if you look at Pac-Man, he's also like his logo is one of the most iconic logos of all video gaming. Just like the triangle cut out of a circle, like
Yeah.
that look is like that's fucking
Okay, true.
iconic.
Yeah, that I can appreciate that. That's 16-bit too, so meh.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Take
I
that.
like Pac-Man. I don't think he's an A or an S tier, but I think I can put him in B tier comfortably.
Yeah, I would say B tier feels right.
He's
I'll
a
vote B tier
classic,
for
and
him.
he's kind of cool. He's kind of fun. There's also like nothing really quite like it because it was like made before they could design characters that made sense. So it's like they had to make something like a couple pixels that was super easy, and they made this like weird chomping thing, and then like design the character around that. So it's like a very strange, unique thing.
Yeah, he is the OG. And I think Eric, what movie was that? There's like an Adam Sandler movie where Pac-Man is. You're right. That was a fucking. Oh man, what movie was that? It was like not a good movie, although I thought the premise sounded cool.
Pixels.
Pixels. Oh yeah, okay. It had like some weird. Let's see.
Action! Yeah, Blaster. Go Blaster. Yeah, Blaster. Go Blaster. Just you, Adam.
Where's the Pac-Man? There he
I don't
is.
know. It doesn't show up. Oh, there he is. He's right there.
Yeah, that was like Pac-Man chases him down in the car chase. Okay, yeah, it just wasn't a very good movie, but good cast. Sounded like a fun premise, and then I went to see it, and I was like, oh god.
B tier 1. I feel like I can live with that. All right, here comes Pikachu. Pikachu's a pretty fucking heavy hitter.
Pikachu's a fucking S tier, dude. Are you kidding me? He's like, he represents the whole like Pokemon mania. Let's see if I can spell Pikachu.
He's also very like I'll put Pikachu up there with Kirby as far as like cuteness goes. Pikachu's a very cute character. It's cute, but then it can also be a little fierce if it needs to. Pika! The noises it makes are really fun. Pikachu! I can't do that.
That's true. The
falsetto
noises
that
it
I need
makes
to do.
are really fun. And it's just it's super cute. Like there's those like mascot races where people run like relay races as Pikachu. It's adorable.
I'm going S tier. I don't know.
Pikachu's S tier, dude.
Before this, I might have said A tier, but Pikachu is just such a. I also like my first Pokemon game was Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy, and on Pokemon
that's a
Yellow,
weird one to
Pikachu
start on.
follows you around. Like he runs around and chases you. So Pikachu's got a soft spot.
Is
in
it
my
the
heart.
same as like Blue and Red, but like just with the following of the Pokemon, or is it a whole different game?
It's the same as Blue and Red, but you start with Pikachu instead of Bulbasaur,
Or Charmander,
Charmander, or Squirtle, and then you end up unlocking all three of those. When you beat like the Water Gym, they give you a Squirtle. When you beat the Fire Gym, they give you a Charmander. So you end up getting all three of the starting Pokemons, and it was fucking awesome.
That's dope. What? I had to like start the game separately and then do like the weird
trade and shit.
Yeah.
Yellow was kind of like easy mode. They just made it like, but it was fun. Like I wanted all three starter Pokemon, so like it worked out for me.
Yeah. That's pretty dope.
But I spent hundreds of hours running around with Pikachu in that game, so Pikachu's a little homie of mine. Shout out Pikachu.
Yeah.
If you're watching, which we know you are.
There's also a game on the N64 called Hey You Pikachu that had like this voice activated stuff and you could talk to Pikachu. It's ahead of its time, I feel like.
You remember Pokemon Snap? Wasn't there a new one that was coming out?
Oh yes, Pokemon Snap. That one was fucking
I think there's
great
a new
too.
one that just came out on Switch.
Is there? I feel like that'd be cool with like the motion sensitivity where you could just like,
Yeah, here it is. Came out a year ago.
Oh, that's fun. Like this game's fun for like a few minutes.
This game was fun for like 2 playthroughs, and it was like, okay, I'm done.
Welcome to the worlds of new Pokemon Snap. This is the Lentil region. You'll ride the Neo 1 through the jungle.
I feel like this would be a great like VR
across
game.
the desert, and even under the sea to
That's true.
research
This would be awesome in
Pokemon
VR.
in their natural habitats. And of course, you won't be alone. Professor Mirror, who's doing research in the Lentil region, and research. Now then, let's go Alolan Raichu.
Oh man, you can get a Raichu surfing.
And there's
This looks sick.
Vaporeon. Let's try throwing it a fluff fruit.
Oh, you could throw him stuff.
That's it. Now's our chance.
Oh, there's night Pokemon.
You can. We captured.
Okay,
a
this
rare
is like a lot
When you
more
want
advanced
more
than the Pokemon
photos.
Snap I remember.
We're getting.
It looks pretty fun, but I don't know if I'd pay $60 for that. I'm sure it gets old pretty quick.
No, but Pikachu was S tier, like we expected.
This is.
I feel like.
I always called it Ryu, but I guess it's Ryu is how you say this, right?
How's it spelled?
RYU.
Huh.
I always called it Ryu, but I guess it's Ryu. It always has
Ryu?
been.
Always has been. He's the Hadouken.
But this is I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of these characters. Also, like,
Street Fighter in general is not my bag. Really,
yeah, it's not my fighting game. And then in addition to that, as I've said a bunch of times, I didn't grow up playing Nintendo, so I didn't have any of the Street Fighter games growing up. And these are ones that I'd play when I went over to friends' houses, but never one of my favorite ones. But I do know it's one of the most iconic fighting game series of all time, and that's why this character's on the list. But I personally just don't have much attachment to him.
I'd say like even when he's a character in like Super Smash Brothers, which is a fighting game I do play. I'm not choosing Ryu.
I will say, did you the Hayukin thing or whatever is like that shit's dope, and I quote that in my everyday life pretty frequently. Hayukin.
Yeah.
That shit's awesome. That alone brings it up one tier from whatever I was voting on. I was gonna vote C tier. I'll bring it up to B tier because the Hayukin.
Yeah. Okay. B tier. I could get into B tier. I feel like I don't know. Like he's not even the best character in his own game, you know. Although he does represent that game pretty well.
Yeah, he's not my favorite character in the game either. I'd say Blanca or I like the dude with the stretchy arms, the Indian guy who can like
Dawson.
stretch.
That's the guy I played. Yeah,
that's who I used to play.
Flame.
Obnoxious as fuck when you fight against him.
Yeah, you just like throw your arms all the way across the map and yoga kick. And if you die, he's like yoga. Dawson.
I will say also the Street Fighter movie is kind of iconic. Like,
oh yes, that is a fun movie. That was like the superhero comic book style movie before they did any of that.
It's a pretty bad movie, but it's a pretty iconic bad movie. Sort of like the first Mortal Kombat movie. Not really a good movie, but also like an awesome movie because it's just like they're making video game movies before they really knew how to like tell a story correctly through video games.
Yeah,
S tier one. That's not what I would have picked, but
that was I am surprised by that. So far, I agree with everyone in S tier except for this one. I feel like
I do too. Actually, I don't agree with Link, so I'm not on the board.
No, Link definitely belongs in S tier.
I also don't like disagree with it though. Like I'm not upset. Same with like I understand why Ryu's in S tier. It's one of the like most iconic gaming franchises of all time, and the character that's been used to advertise it. Not only iconic, but one of the first. Like it's the one of the longest lasting. Street Fighter was when you got an SNES or an NES, that was like one of the first games everybody got on. So it's like if you've been playing video games for 30, 40 years, there's no way you didn't play Street Fighter.
Zangief is S tier. I don't know about that. Zangief is like he's like the Russian like Street Fighter character, isn't he? Yeah. I remember him from like what is it? Wreck-It Ralph, where he's like in the bad guys support group, and he's just like Zangief is, bad guy, but that doesn't mean Zangief is bad guy.
We're doing Samus. This is going back to a lot of these have the same story for. I was not a Nintendo kid. I never really played Samus or Metroid games growing up.
This is S tier.
See, unlike Link, I think Samus is just a sick character purely from aesthetics and looks, and just like I think the robot suit's cool. I like that they have the kind of like blue whip and they can shoot rockets, and like that mech suit is just fucking cool. And then like also the surprise of like was it ever a secret that Samus was a woman? I feel like it was a reveal at some point. Like when I learned Samus was a woman, I was surprised, maybe just because I didn't play the games, but I feel like I just assumed Samus was a dude. So when I figured out like in Super Smash that Zero Suit Samus is a woman, I was like, what? I'm sure other people knew before that, but
yeah, like, I don't remember. I don't think it was like she does take off her helmet at the end of like the OG, like, and you see like her long blonde hair. So I feel like it is kind of a reveal.
Yeah, like, but yeah, I don't know. It's just more interesting to me than like a lot of the.
No, A is pulling away now. I feel like she's an S tier character for fucking sure. Also, like that Metroid Prime games on like the GameCube, those games are so fucking cool. Like, and then I guess they made some on like on the Wii, and like you'd like whip and do like this motion control stuff, And it was really fun too. Like I like
I've always
that
thought
shit.
Samus is one of the most fun Super Smash characters. It was one of the first characters with a big charge in the original Smash on 64. Charging that
Oh
big
yeah.
ball, I think it was that and Donkey Kong were the only characters that could charge up moves. So it was like learning
Yeah,
how
for
to
sure.
charge and then use that to like, shoot the ball when somebody's at high health and just like eviscerate them was like very fun. Just like winding up the
Yeah.
donkey punch. But that's mostly how I know Samus is from Super Smash, and I like Samus from that. A tier. That's what I voted, to be honest, and I'm okay with it. Now this
A tier,
one,
I voted S tier, dude. She's also her like dark version, like Dark Samus. That's like the like infected kind of like looking one. God, it's badass.
this dude's Solid Snake or Snake Solid? I'm getting them mixed up. Solid. I think it's Solid Snake, right?
Solid Snake.
It's Solid Snake. So this one I'm torn on. I feel like this one is fucking Halo for me for Max. I love the Metal Gear Solid series, and I grew up playing it. I grew up like watching my brother's friends' brothers playing. Like we would take turns just watching people play single player, and like. But I feel like he's not a very interesting character. Like, like he's kind of
Yeah.
following from the Master Chief thing, where it's like you could literally put anybody in that role and it'd be a fun game. Like his character is just kind of like boring. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of agree. He's not my favorite. I'm not like hot to go see a Solid Snake movie.
I'm gonna put it in
Although
B just because I have so much nostalgia around. Like, I don't know. Like, I always bring up the Psycho Mantis
yeah.
fight. I will forever remember. Like, I'll get fucking dementia and I'll still remember the fucking Psycho Mantis fight. That was the craziest thing that's ever happened in a video game ever. Like, the only way you could beat Psycho Mantis was by unplugging your controller out of port 1 and plugging it into port 2, so he could read your mind and he could read all of your moves before you did them in port 1. But if you switch ports, he could no longer read your mind because you're like going through something else. But it was like that was the official way to beat that boss. And like, how the fuck, like, we had to look it up on the internet, but it's like, how did anybody figure out how to do that just by playing the game? And like the creativity involved in just playing the game, like that was outrageous and still is to this day. Like there's been a couple other games where like there's like not a Final Fantasy game, but there's some PlayStation demo where it's like a horror demo for it was like teasing some new game coming out, but like part of the way you won was by whispering a word while walking around a corner. But if you didn't whisper that word, it wouldn't trigger the thing that needed to happen. But it's like I haven't seen anything so innovative to pass a level like since that. There's like very few things that I've even seen in video gaming that shocked me as much as the Psycho Mantis thing.
Yeah,
I don't know
that
if
fight
anybody
was
else had
pretty
that
fucking
experience,
good.
but it's just weird. Like
That's definitely like a memorable game in general. Like it's really like clever and well done.
yeah, like the hiding in the boxes, also like hiding the
Yeah.
bodies. I feel like hiding the bodies after you killed them became a thing that was adapted in like Splinter Cell and like every other sneaky around game that came after Metal Gear Solid was just
Yeah.
directly taking it. Also, like the hiding in a box is super iconic. Like you can hide in a box and hide
Yeah,
yourself.
that's true. I'm not mad about C though. I feel like he as a character he's not
Me
really
either.
my
That's what I'm
favorite.
saying. I love him. I love the series. I don't know if I'd go see a movie. Like I don't find his
Yeah.
lore and his.
I'd be
character
like,
that
I don't know. I've seen this movie kind of, you know. It's like the standard spy movie. I'd play the game, but yeah, as a character, he's
This is a big
Sonic.
one. This is my fucking childhood. I grew up playing Sonic, not Mario, because I had my first console was a Sega Genesis, and then we got a Sega Dreamcast as our next console. So we went from Sega Genesis to Sega Dreamcast. We didn't have NES. We didn't have SNES. We ended up getting a PlayStation when PlayStation came out, but
I'd say
Sonic's
like the B.
cool.
He's like the B tier to Mario's A tier, in my opinion. So
I feel like
I'd
he's
say
cooler than that. I feel like A tier. I would just put in S tier, but I do feel like he's not that interesting of a character. I
Oh,
don't know. I didn't go
damn.
see the movie. I could have seen the movie. There was a movie with fucking Jim Carrey in it, and I chose
There's
not to watch
multiple
it.
movies, yeah. Multiple Sonic movies now.
But I also think Sonic's like, I don't know. He's kind of like a more punk rock character than Mario. And then like the whole thing that he just turns into a ball and like super speeds around it's kind of sick. Like I guess his like superpower is pretty cool.
Samus does that too. She turns into a ball.
I'm gonna put him in A tier. So I don't think he's S tier.
I would go
I do
A tier
think he's
just
like
because he's below Mario for me. I can't believe someone voted D tier. That's the rough.
I don't think it's that bad. I do think the games are not as good either as far as like Sonic doesn't compare to Mario. It's not as good of a series. And I say that as someone who grew up, like I have the nostalgia for the Sonic series. I grew up playing it and not the Mario series, and Mario is still better.
Yeah, his character, his like lore is also not like I don't know does he have a counterpart like Bowser? I mean, like Mario's always trying to rescue the princess from Bowser.
Yeah, it's
What's Sonic
Dr.
always trying to do?
Robotnik.
He's always just trying to stop Dr.
Or
Robotnik.
Professor
Like,
Eggman is another name for him. And then there's also Knuckles, and then there's also Shadow. Shadow is like the evil Knuckles. So there's like he's got different characters. I loved the Sonic game on
it's always
Dreamcast is one of my favorite games of all time. There's a Sonic. It wasn't quite open world. It's kind of like Mario 64, but for Sonic. But they had a thing called they had the VMUs, which are the memory cards, but they're called visual memory units. They're memory cards with screens
with
on
a
them,
little
and you could take
picture
them
on
out
it. Yeah.
and you could play games on them. And there are these little things you could raise inside of the Sonic game that you could take out and play mini games with on the VMU. And that was a super fun, like kind of side part of the game. But yeah, that Sonic game is fun, but you could switch. You could play as Knuckles, and he could fly. So on certain levels, you'd switch to Knuckles when you needed like to grab coins in a certain way. And it was kind of like Mario, where there's like 7 stars on each level, but you're trying to collect coins, so you have to like change characters to get the coins in different spots.
Oh.
Yeah, that game is fun, but yeah, I wouldn't say like the lore or anything has ever been interesting to me.
Yeah, Sonic in A tier makes sense to me. I feel like Mario's S, Sonic is A.
Yeah, I feel like putting
That
him on the same
feels-
par as Luigi is fair. Like,
Yeah, that feels appropriate to me too. I feel like I'm not mad about
I'm pretty
that.
happy with this list, to be honest. There's a couple things I disagree with, but
Yeah, for the most part, I'm on board with all these placements.
so this one,
Spyro.
I really like Spyro, but I will say, as far as longevity goes, this is probably the shortest lived mascot in this entire list. Which I think also could be an argument for him, though, because he's only around for not long, and we still like love and remember him. So like he made a
Right.
lasting impact in the 1 or 2 games he was released in on PlayStation.
Yeah, I remember Spyro. He has like, I don't know. I liked that game where you could like breathe fire and like fly a little bit, and it was
I
kind
do
of like
too.
a platformer game.
It was also one of the launch titles for PlayStation. So like if you bought a PlayStation when it came out, you played Spyro. Like this game came with PlayStation, I believe. Like when we first bought a PlayStation, all we had was Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. I think it was like those were like some of the launch titles with the game. And Crash Bandicoot lived longer. Like as we just saw, they released the Crash Bandicoot. I don't think they've released a Spyro since the earlier ones. I guess
I
we
don't
can look
know
it up.
about him as a character. I feel like I might have to vote like D tier, just because like I don't know. Would I watch a movie about him? Not really.
I sort of liked him. I feel like he's better than D tier. I also feel like part of his thing was like when you start out, you couldn't breathe fire because he was like too small and a baby dragon. So you're trying to like get bigger and grow. And it was almost like a Lion King Simba thing where you're like trying to grow up, coming of age style shit. I could see that turning into a cool movie.
Oh.
Well, let's see. Spyro the Dragon. When's the last release?
I don't know. I feel like I would feel like a Spyro movie would be like too much of a kids movie.
All right, let's read the legacy. The popularity of Spyro the Dragon helped push the character Spyro as a popular platforming mascot for the PlayStation alongside Crash Bandicoot. Pretty much exactly what I said. It was the first game in what became an expansive video game series, spawning 2 more platforming sequels for the PlayStation's Ripto Rage and Year of the Dragon. I don't think I actually played that. Released in 1999 and 2000. As of the year 2000, the series has sold more than 3.2 million copies, 4 million copies worldwide. Insomniac stopped developing the Spyro series after the Year of the Dragon because it finished off some contract.
Okay.
Insomniac went on to develop Ratchet and Clank.
So that game was
that
pretty
made
dope,
this quit Spyro and started Ratchet and Clank, which is now another. I was thinking about adding him to this list because Ratchet and Clank is another series.
Yeah, they're pretty dope. Oh, B and D tied. So I guess
C tier. I can live with that.
Yeah, I feel like B was too high. So
this is a Fox McCloud. We can just call him Star Fox, though, right? Like that's kind of his.
Yeah, Star Fox. I feel like he's also a pretty lame character for like being in his own game. Like everyone around him is cool.
I feel like, but I don't know. He's kind of a fun character. Star Fox 64 is the only good game. I think I've only played Star Fox 64. I don't know if I've played any of the other ones. I do like him in Super Smash Brothers, though. I like him and Falco. They kind of have they're kind of speed characters where you can put a lot of damage, but they don't have strong smashes. So it's like a little.
Did you ever play the fucking the SNES Star Fox, like Star Fox 2? I think it was.
I never had NES or
That game was
SNES.
nuts. It was fun, but yeah, Star Fox 64 is definitely like the ultimate Star Fox game. Where you had like all the different paths that you could go, and you had to find like how to get to like the red path versus the blue path.
I also still quote that to this day. Use the boost to get through.
Yeah,
Like there's quotes from that game that are just
that's
like.
true. Yeah,
I also didn't
Be
even play it.
careful.
Like I never even owned that game. That's just from like hearing it at friends' houses. Like it's how iconic that shit is.
Right. Do a barrel roll. Yeah, that's true. It is very iconic, but the character himself, like,
Yeah, that's the thing is
Fox and
like if
Five,
you're counting the character, not the game, I feel like Fox is kind of not the coolest part of the Star Fox game or the.
yeah, I'm gonna give him a C. I feel like I'd like everything around him, like Slippy, the little frog guy, is cooler, or like the robot that says good luck, like good luck. I don't know.
I like
They're all really
Falco.
fucking cool. Falco, yeah, or Wolf, Star Wolf is there. Like, I
They
don't know.
have they have that really fucking obnoxious special in Super Smash where you can like call down that
Oh,
fucking spaceship. That
yeah,
shit
they
was
sit
so
in like the
annoying.
tank, the Land Rover tank thing, and
Yeah,
just fuck people up. Yeah,
that thing was so
that special
obnoxious.
is ridiculous. He's also so fast in Super Smash Brothers. Like people are so fast and good with Fox or the
Looks like
Fox
C tier is
crew.
where we're landing.
I feel like that feels appropriate. Star Fox is kind of like the game is really cool. The character, whatever.
Here's a big one. This is Laura Croft. Spelled like Lara, but it's Laura, right?
Oh yeah, how's it
Spelled
spelled?
Lara.
Lara Croft. She is a kind of like a long-standing video game icon too.
I also think like the picture we have now isn't like the iconic version that I remember.
Yeah,
The picture
where
we have
she's
is
like
like
got
her with
the
the bow and arrow. The one I know is the one with the two like Uzis when she has like
yeah.
she's dual wielding from like the 90s. That shit was
She's the
like
world's pistol. She has like a tank top, like a turquoise tank top on, I think.
yeah. She's basically like a Indiana Jones if Indiana Jones was a woman kind of vibe. Real like adventurous adventurer look.
Okay.
I don't know what tier to
I
put
mean,
her in though. I feel like she's pretty iconic. She's been around for like 20, 30 years. They made movies about her too. Like there was an Angelina Jolie played Laura Croft
yeah.
in a
Oh, I
movie.
like that movie too. I
So if
like
like
that
our
franchise.
if
I
our
rewatched that. You know, just that movie. I'm gonna have to go A tier.
as I say,
I
like if
watched
our
that movie
judgment is would
multiple
you go see
times.
this character in a movie and they've
Yeah,
successfully done it, like
I've gone to that movie multiple times. It's like this, it's like a like treasure hunt style movie, like National Treasure or
that's what I was
something
saying.
like
It kind
that.
of reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. There you go. I'm voting A tier. And then Laura Croft in general. I just like she is a very appealing kind of character. People get into it. And that new game where she's like got the bow and arrow and stuff is fucking intense, dude. It's like really gory.
It's like playing through a movie too. It's very cinematic.
Yeah, it's
I'll also
really
say the
good.
one cool thing about Laura Croft is like one of the only female characters on this list. Like there's not a lot of like women in gaming as far as like I don't know.
Oh,
Usually
like
it's like
protagonists. Yeah, I guess that's
yeah,
true.
usually it's like Peach, save Peach, or Zelda, go save Zelda.
Yeah.
Like it's always like they just kind of throw the woman in for the man to save. Whereas like Samus is the only other uh, female character
Oh,
on
that's
this
true.
list.
Samus
So
is.
I do say as far as representation in gaming, like Laura Croft's pretty important for like representing women, even if it's a character made by men with big tits and a small waist. Probably not the best
Yeah.
like character to represent women as far as like physical appearance goes, but it still is a badass woman in gaming.
S plus for boobs.
B, I think I can live with B.
B. I feel like at least B. I voted A. But
Okay, we're down to our last two characters. This has been a fun one though. Also, this list is a lot more like when Max did it, he had way less than like C. So this is like a much more
yeah,
well-rounded list
I'm
than
surprised. Yeah, there's way more C tier. Although I'm not actually upset with these C tier landings. Oh, this is Wario. Okay.
Wario. Okay, I would almost argue Wario is a cooler character than Mario. Wario is so fucking funny,
What?
dude.
No,
He's
dude.
just farting all over people. I love Wario, the clown. I love how obnoxious he is too. He's just like like, I don't know. I like
He's
Wario
like
though. I probably put Wario
his
in S tier as far as like characters go.
his thing, instead of eating mushrooms, he eats garlic.
And he farts. Like his literally attack in fucking Super Smash Brothers. You eat people and you fart on them. Like, I don't
Oh
know.
yes, dude, totally. The PS1 boobs for Lara Croft for Tomb Raider. She just had like the little triangle chests. I remember that too. Iconic. The iconic triangle titties. But yeah, you know what? Wario's game is fucking awesome too. WarioWare, that game fucking is super fun.
I'd watch a Wario movie too. I feel like Wario.
I would
Maybe he'll
watch a
be in the
Wario movie.
Mario movie, but I feel like
God,
he's
I
just
hope
an
so.
interesting character. Like he has that big personality. That's why I like him as far as the character goes.
You know what? I'm gonna vote S tier. I would want to. I like would want to see a Wario movie.
I think he's
But
more of an interesting character than Luigi. Like if you're gonna compare those characters, like he's just more captivating because he's got more going on.
I also, back in the Game Boy Color, I had a Wario game that was like, that was really fun. And he like, you'd run around and just like elbow your way through stuff. He'd be like, yeah, and that was like his move was like he just like smashed
I didn't
through
know
walls
that, but
with
that's
his
why
elbow.
that's his move in Super Smash. I didn't realize that because he has a shoulder charge. Move in
Oh
Super
yeah,
Smash,
yeah.
and
That's like
based on that.
I used to play that game. It was great. I don't know. It had like you could get smushed by these like smushed things, and then you'd like fall like a piece of paper. You'd like glide, and for some reason, getting a drop of water on your head would like restore you. I don't know. That game was ridiculous and fun, and I voted S tier.
WarioWare is
Like,
also a very fun game. Like I played the shit out of
right?
that on Nintendo DS. That was a fun game.
Yeah, no, that game rocks. Wario is like definitely S tier. I can't believe so many people are voting B.
Somebody voted D tier. Somebody really doesn't like Wario.
Wow, that's
I can't
rude.
understand. He's sort of an obnoxious character, but that's why I like him. Like his obnoxiousness is he's a loud character, but like
Yeah,
he's like the opposite of what I've been saying about all these characters, where it's like, oh, they're just kind of vanilla. Like they're just the good guy embodied. He's like more than just a bad guy embodied. He's like an obnoxious weirdo, but that's like what makes him an interesting character and Mascot, in my opinion. S and B tied, so I guess we'll put it in
it's
A.
A. I don't know. I feel like S should have had it.
We'll put it in A.
Everybody
This is the last one, Yoshi. Yoshi's okay. Yoshi kind of reminds me of Kirby, where Yoshi's cute. I don't find Yoshi. Oops, I just slash poll on the wrong.
Yeah, I feel like Yoshi's cool, but I'm gonna leave him behind if it means I can make a bigger jump. You know, I'm gonna let him fall into the crevasse, into the
I also
abyss.
feel like he just doesn't really have much lore behind him. He's just like a fucking weird dinosaur that poops out eggs. Like he just kind of is what he is. He also doesn't really speak. He kind of just like like it makes like weird meep noises.
I like the noises he makes, like the swallow sound that he has. Yeah,
I'm trying to make it. I'm like, it's the first time I've ever tried. It's a weird noise.
yeah. And then the way the music changes when you ride him, it was like
People are putting him in S
as
tier.
like,
I don't know if
I
I
don't
put him
know.
in S tier.
Let's see what tier am I gonna vote for him. Yoshi. Also, don't forget Yoshi drops. That wasn't great. So
No, that's got nothing to do with this character.
yeah, but they share a name, and it's getting minus points for me. I would say Yoshi's cool, but I'm gonna go with like B tier for him. He's not like he's like a side character, you know. He's not gonna. I mean, I know he has like Yoshi Island is like his own game, but
They also came out the newer game on Switch, right? It was like Yoshi's. Was it
Yoshi
Yoshi's Story?
really.
Jeff says Yoshi Nintendo's S tier, Yoshi Wax is F tier. I agree with that.
Yoshi Wax. That's true. Yeah. So Nintendo Yoshi. I don't know about S tier though. I mean, it's like it's like Mario's horse. You know, that'd be like Link is S tier, but Epona is like B tier.
I just don't find Yoshi to be that interesting of a character. I find him fun, and I find him likable. He's also cute enough that like I'd maybe have a plush doll of Yoshi. Like it's a cool looking character. It's a fun animation style, but like I don't know if I could watch a whole movie about Yoshi. Like
Yeah. What's the yarn game?
I think that's the new Yoshi one. I don't know. I'll do it after this poll ends. It looks like B1. So Yoshi will stay in B, and that's our list. Actually, that's pretty good.
I don't know about. Yeah, I want to know about this yarn game. Fucking yarn game.
It's the newest one on Switch. Like everything's made out of Yoshi's Crafted World, right?
Oh, that sounds cool. Let's see.
We played the demo. Like, I saw you and Paul play the demo on my Switch. This came out a couple years ago. I was considering buying it, but I didn't.
Okay, that's why it sounds familiar. Okay, yeah, this looks familiar. Crafted World. Bum.
Is this what you're talking about, though?
I remember this like style game where you like have all the eggs fall on you. You can throw them. Once you have like all the eggs,
fun.
you can start pooping out lives.
I'll honestly probably buy this game when it's on sale. That's like the only single player games I play anymore are Nintendo platformers.
Wow. Okay, Mosuerte, Epona can't breathe fire bullets, sure, but Epona can outrun the hell out of Yoshi. Like Epona is way faster. So
Yoshi is he said when Kirby eats shit and gets the powers, it's amazing. When Yoshi does it, it's C tier. Does Yoshi get the powers? He just poops out eggs, I thought. Like
Yoshi gets powers from some things. Like there's the one where you can get little wings. There's the one where you get like you can breathe fire, like spit some fireballs.
I mean, that's the same as absorbing someone's power when you swallow them, though.
There's the one where the Yoshi gets like really fat, like a balloon, and you can like hold on to it and it flies. There's a few like Yoshi powers.
All right, we're gonna do our final poll for what is the best game mascot through the S tiers.
Oh man, between Link and Pikachu and Mario, it's pretty tricky. Although I feel like my favorite of those characters is definitely going to be Link. And although
we got Kirby, Link, Mario, Pikachu, and Ryu. 3-minute poll starting now. There can only be one. I still need to play more Mario Maker too. That Yoshi Craft World kind of remind me of Mario Maker because it looks like you can design levels and stuff in it. But I've got Mario Maker 2.
I think I'm going for Link too. I voted Link. Like Link is just the classic. Like for me, Link is like the OG. Like the thing that like the first time I played a video game where like when I was not playing the game, I was thinking about like how to, beat parts of that game or like what I was going to do next in that game. Like it was like the start of my getting really into playing video games was Ocarina of Time. And I think for that reason,
Mario's so powerful. If you toss his name into any game, I'm more likely to buy it. So I'll say about Mario. If Mario's in the title, I'm 10 times more likely to buy the game, even if it's like literally the same game with just other characters. Like that's how powerful Mario is. He sells games.
I see Jeff said that he liked Link to the Past. Did you ever play A Link Between Worlds on the Nintendo DS? Because that game was super fucking cool. And it was like a sequel kind of to Link Between Worlds or A Link to the Past. If you haven't played it, you should. It was great. Plus, you'll catch on to a bunch of things pretty quickly because it's like if you know things from Link to the Past. At least when I was playing it, I was like, oh shit, that looks like the guy from Link to the Past, and I won't spoil anything, but it's a good one. Yeah, it is cool. Cool, you played it. Nice. Link Between Worlds. I really liked that one.
It looks like Link is winning. I would not have guessed that Link is the most popular of all. Ryu has the genre from Mortal Kombat and Virtua Fighter. We were actually talking about that. I almost added Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, but I was like, I don't know. Mortal Kombat's more of an ensemble game. There isn't just one character from Mortal Kombat, in my opinion, that represents Mortal Kombat. So I feel like
I kind of agree though that like Scorpion and Sub-Zero are like the Mario and Luigi of Mortal Kombat, I would say.
I guess my disagreement with that is when they made a Mortal Kombat movie, who was the main character was not Scorpion.
Yeah, Johnny Cage and
so say like they had a chance. If that was the mascot and the main character, why wasn't the movie about him? And that's kind of my point. Is like there is no main character in Mortal Kombat. It's just a ensemble cast of characters. Sub-Zero had his own game and his own movie. Actually, there was like a Sub-Zero movie
Wait, he had
But-
his own game?
Yeah, there's a Sub-Zero. It's like a platformer. And then after that, I think it came out after the movie because there's a movie, like the second Mortal Kombat movie was featured on Sub-Zero, and then he had his own like platforming game that came out afterwards.
Platforming game. That's crazy.
So I guess if anybody, Sub-Zero actually would have been the one that we should have picked. But they changed. Scorpion was
Link.
used to advertise the most recent Mortal Kombat, but like they change, like depending on which Mortal Kombat is, there's a different character on the cover. So
The get over here is also such an iconic like.
get over here. Yeah, that is.
Get over here.
Link won. I wouldn't have guessed
go,
that.
dude.
But shout out
I'm
to
not
our,
mad about
our
that,
Zelda
dude. Link
fans.
fucking rocks. He's the original pot smashing. There's also, they're called the Navi in Avatar. Link had a friend named Navi too. So just more plus points. I don't know, that it matters. The SNES, let's see. Sub-Zero had his own game. Okay, I need to look up this Sub-Zero game, the fucking platformer game. That's absurd to me.
All right, I'll look it up here.
Yeah, that doesn't compute with me. How is there a fucking
Sub-Zero game?
what was it called?
There it is.
Okay, I mean this looks like Mortal Kombat. Okay, what?
I think you like ran around those like side scrolling.
Ah!
See, like you're running around.
N64? What the fuck?
Yeah, I never really played this, but I remember it coming out. And I want to say there's a Sub-Zero movie that came out around the same time too.
Damn.
Was there not a Sub-Zero movie?
Weren't they gonna make like a new? Oh, I guess they did make a new Mortal Kombat movie. It just wasn't that good.
2021.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that coming out. We got some more off the rails though. Let's get into our off the rails and finish those up for the day. Let's see if our internet's working better now. Maybe we can actually watch
I remember watching the new one and being like, I don't know. I've seen better days.
Thank you for the raid, Kaka Shidota.
Nice. What's going on? we just finished off ranking the gaming characters here, video game characters, and Link took the cake. I'm actually pretty happy about that.
Rating of video game characters. Our crowd decided that Link is the best video game mascot of all time. I disagree. I think it's Mario, but
I mean, I feel like Link is just a kick-ass character.
It's a democracy. The people have spoken.
I think Link.
Kakashi Dota says that 100% Link takes the cake.
Yeah, Link is the
I didn't know
guy.
how beloved Link was. But I also came out as a hater-ass bitch this episode, so I'm a hater-ass bitch. I don't think Link's that good.
Link also, I would say, like, Link has the most, like, just fire games. Like, that, like, what is it? Link Between Worlds, that was awesome. Fucking, I played, what was the one on the DS? Oh, man, what was it called? The Phantom Hourglass. That was super fucking cool. And then, like
I remember Majora's Mask being a huge thing.
Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time. Those games are all so fucking good. Or Wind Waker 2. God damn, that game was fun. So like all those games I thought were so good.
I've never gotten into them. I also didn't get into the new one. Like I have the new one on Switch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not for me.
Dude, that one's like a masterpiece. Fucking what's that called? Breath of the Wild.
I prefer the new Mario. Mario fucking Odyssey was the shit. All right, let's play this off the rails. This one's called Maybe, Maybe, Maybe. It says, tired of knowing how a gift will end. This has some sort of surprise ending. Let's see what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Cooking an egg?
Oh, this one. Oh, that. What the fuck was going on with that egg, dude? I remember this. I shared it because of the egg. And whatever he's making looks fucking amazing.
It looks delicious, but I'm like having
what is going on with that egg? He opens a single egg and it opens with like 6 yolks. That can't be a real thing. You see that? It was like one egg. I don't think that's real. Like that's, that's not real. I feel like they.
I feel like it could be a different animal's egg. It's probably not a chicken egg.
There's no way that there's an egg out there that opens into like 6 yolks. I feel like I would have
Let's
heard
Google
of
it.
this.
Egg that opens with multiple.
I've seen like
Yolks.
double yolks, but like more than 3, that's not real.
Double or triple yolks. A double yolked egg is formed when 2 yolks are either.
Okay, double yolks I can still get behind, but that's not that
Yeah, I
wasn't
don't know about
double.
the
That was like
6 yolks is a little.
something was going on there, dude. That egg
Egg
was.
box containing 29 double yolk eggs. What a YouTube video.
I have seen that you can buy like a carton of double yolked eggs, that's pretty cool. But it
But the
doesn't
thing is,
explain
like,
what's going on in this video.
yeah, like, why would someone make, like, the amount of work it would take to make a fake version of that seems like it wouldn't be worth the effort. Like, because, like, I'm thinking of the alternative. Okay, this is either A, practical effects, they invented some sort of multi-egg thing, or CGI. Either way, why the fuck would you spend the time doing that for this video?
Right.
Like,
That was why I wanted to share this one. I was like, what's going on with this egg? Have you guys ever fucking seen eggs that open for more than 3 yolks? Because that was like 6 yolks easily.
yeah, that's strange.
Very strange.
All right, this got removed by the moderators. Let's say, it's about to be fucking fire. This one's called
this one's
Funny
good.
Animals. Welcome to the subreddit for our funny animal friends. When the bully gets bullied, and there's a picture of 2 cats. So I assume one of these cats is going to bully the other cat.
Yeah, he's coming up on
Let's
him.
see. Oh! He just jumped right on his butt.
Now they're staring each other down, and this is where it gets good.
Oh, there's a third cat coming in from behind, and he is fucking ready to fucking. Oh my gosh, he's gonna beat that ass. I can tell. He's gonna do the hit. Oh!
Shouldn't have been fucking around. Yeah,
Damn.
dude, he just got a taste of his own medicine there.
I wonder if that cat's friends with the orange cat, or just like, I'm ready to fucking get in.
Right, I feel like that it might just be like a cat sees like another cat with its back turned like that and just can't resist fucking with it. I feel like cats just have that like compulsion. They have to fuck with you. They have to push that thing like to the edge of the table and then knock it off. You know.
Should also say, welcome to our raiders. We normally stream NFT and gaming content. Today is kind of our off the rails day where we watch funny videos, and we also usually do tier lists, and we either rank like food or video game stuff. But on other days, we do stream like NFT giveaways and stuff. So if you're interested in that, we do that here. You just caught us in kind of a weird day if you're if you're into the NFT space and then you raided into us and we're talking about this stuff. You might be like, who the fuck are these guys? But I'm actually not sure how we know Kakashi Dota. I assume you play Dota if it's in your name. But I don't play Dota, so it wouldn't be through that.
Let's see.
Remember when I tried to play Dota, people told me they quit because I was too bad. I'm so old that Dota was a Warcraft 3 mod back when, like, before it was a solo standalone game, and I used to try to play it. People are like, you needed to download it and play it offline for like 60 hours before you log in and play it online. And I was like, I don't know, back then I was like 12. I was like, I'm not going to practice a video game offline to be able to play it online. Like, what the fuck is that? So I just never got into Dota.
That is why you fail.
Oops, I did the wrong
Let's
one.
see. What is this? Link to the Past is better than Zelda 2? What the fuck is Zelda 2? Is there a game just called Zelda 2?
All right, this is Wine Cabinet. It says Reddit/DIY. Basically, it's people trying to fix stuff on their own and failing. So
Yeah.
there's some guy with a
DIY
power drill
boat.
drilling into a wine cabinet. I feel like even without watching this video, maybe he drills through the wine. Just guessing. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, he drilled a hole in a cabinet. Oh my god, what is this guy doing? He's putting a tube through the hole?
I think he's making like some kind of wine dispenser.
That hole is also too big for that tube.
The hole's a little big, yeah, I don't know.
What is going on here? He's
Where did
cutting
you-
into the bottom of a lamp now. Is the wine gonna go through the fucking lamp? I think it is.
Okay. It took a weird twist with the lamp.
So the hole, there's a tube going through a hole in a lamp that's now also going through a hole in a cabinet. I think wine's going in that whole tube, and he's gonna suck wine out of the tube.
I hope it ends with him just like the tube goes. This end of the tube just goes into his mouth.
Okay, so now he's gluing. What the fuck is that glue? That looks
Dude,
crazy.
that glue looks gnarly.
He's gluing the. Okay, so now there's like a valve. He's gluing the tube into a valve, which I assume will attach into wherever the wine is going.
Okay.
Okay, I'm invested in this now, and I feel like it's gonna end super dumb and piss me off. But okay, so now on the valve, he's putting like a spout. If you twist the spout, it no longer shoots water out of it.
Okay.
But where's the wine? I don't see the wine yet. This video's called like wine storage or something.
It's the idea that like you. Why is that valve so low to the ground too? Are you trying to be like on your hands and knees every time you fill a glass of wine?
Oh gosh. So there's a funnel.
Okay.
So what is this for? And why?
Yeah, what is this for?
I'm gonna just trim off this little piece. We're gonna go right over here. Grab my favorite bottle of wine.
Okay. I'm like frustrated. This is gonna be really
You're
stupid.
gonna come right down here. Open it up.
Oh my god, is he seriously just pouring the wine into the... and you need a stupid giant funnel too? Oh,
What?
Man, this is weak. That looks like janky as fuck, dude. What? I mean, it is satisfying to see it like flow down.
When you're
But
done?
like, what the fuck is that?
Dude's leaking. What the fuck? Do you see that? There's shit coming out of the... This is the worst
You
janky
did.
thing I've ever fucking seen.
God
I hate
damn it,
this
dude.
guy. I hate that it's
Like, there's so much effort just to like be on your hands and knees to like get your wine out of the fucking
I hate
thing.
that I
Why
spent
is
3
the
minutes
valve on the
watching
floor?
this too. Oh my god.
God.
I also like, I don't like maybe saying this is for aeration because like you're supposed to aerate red wine before you pour it in your glass. Like you're supposed to let it
Yeah,
hit the
but-
oxygen first. But like they make tools for that are not this that are way cleaner. Like
Yeah. Also, yeah, I agree. How is that easier than just pouring the wine into a fucking glass?
this is the top comment is that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. And then there's a second comment is yes, I'm so angry right now. I'm just baffled and confused. This is worse than horror for me. I feel the same way.
Yeah,
It was
that-
like you thought something cool was gonna come, and they just like I don't know. Seems to be a new lane on the internet too. Is like people just make these horrendous creations just
Can
to
devs
like
do
spark
something?
anger. But successful. If that guy's trying to make me angry, he nailed it. All right, this one was sent by Mark. This was also from maybe. This is the one where you don't know how it's going to end, I think. So how will this end?
The more people I spoke to, the more skeptical and frustrated I became. It was unprofessional, but when the time came for my big interview with Mark Sargent, I just didn't give a fuck anymore.
You're one of the biggest dick swingers in the flat earth game. So, no offence.
No, that's right.
And when I say no offence, it means you can't get offended by what I say next.
I won't.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
And your whole life is a lie.
I've heard
That is a bold way to start an interview with somebody that believes in flat Earth, but I'm all for this content so far. This guy's dunking on this flat Earther.
that before. I became a flat earther because I tried to disprove it or debunk it.
But do you not think the reason you can't debunk it is because you're a fuckwit?
No, I'm a pretty clever problem solver.
How do you prove the earth is flat?
By not finding the curve.
So flat earth is not something you can prove,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just something, it's just you can disprove the round globe.
Exactly.
That's bad. That sounds shoddy.
I don't make up these rules. It's lawyers' rules. The stars and the planets are just pretty little lights. The sun and the moon are just bigger lights.
Like what, is it an LED display or something? What is it?
Probably a little better than that.
Okay, look, this is ridiculous. Okay, just sorry, I don't mean to belittle your views.
It's okay.
But fuck your views.
This can't even exist on its own. It needs a solar system, a sun, and a galaxy around that, a universe around that.
Your one needs a fucking LED screen.
Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Ask some questions.
So you were in a Netflix documentary.
Yep.
And how'd that go?
It went pretty well. We shot...
Bad. It went bad.
No, okay. I'm trying to put a positive spin on this. Turned out our biggest recruiting tool to date. In fact, a third of the 18 to 24s were on board with this. And they...
So dumb fucks.
Call it what you want.
You don't know shit.
Well, there you go.
Mark had one good point.
That was great. Bad. He's like, bad. It went bad.
It's kind of crazy flat Earth is still a thing. I mean, sorry if there's any flat earthers in our chat, but you know, we figured that shit out like a couple thousand years ago.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
That's all video. That guy's funny. I'm surprised like whoever that was agreed to sit down with that guy. I haven't seen his other content, but I would imagine like he's not giving people fair chances of like doing debates out of that.
That was pretty funny. I feel like they just want to sit down with anybody, right? They're just trying to get some attention.
His brother is the host of Taskmaster New Zealand, and the two of them are hilarious on it.
All right.
It's weird that flat Earth took off in the fucking age of information, though. Age of misinformation is what we're in the age of.
Yeah.
Subwoofer vibrations triggers an airbag is the name of this. Interesting as fuck.
Oh yeah. This why would you do that to your car? I had a friend who had like a subwoofer in the back, and it's very uncomfortable. I feel like to have that fucking vibration going.
Sounds like it's fucking farting.
Right? It doesn't sound like music. It's just it makes your body feel weird.
Is that the airbag? That's pretty great though. He gets fucking hit. You're asking about THC suppositories? They're selling THC. You're supposed to shove up your butt.
Are they?
I mean, I'm kind of okay with smoking it, personally.
Yeah. I mean, it could be fun to shove it up your butt. You get the extra fun of playing with your butt.
Yeah, if your subs are setting off your airbags, I think you're going a little too hard in the subwoofer division in your car.
Yeah, those are pretty wild.
It might help rectal cancer. Maybe.
Interesting.
I'm not a doctor nor am I a scientist. I can't confirm nor deny whether or not shoving THC suppositories up your ass will help cure rectal cancer, but maybe.
Maybe. That is where the rectal cancer would be. So
we actually have done moderate amounts of research of curing things by, remember we looked up they used to do smoke up people's ass. Like we're like, where does blowing smoke up people's ass come from? It's like we didn't understand that phrase, and it's like you literally used to like try to cure people of diseases by blowing smoke up their ass. Then they learned that
try to cure drowning. Apparently,
yeah. Like if somebody's drowning, they're like blow smoke up their ass, and then like it'll make them cough and like not be drowning or something. It made no sense.
Some insanity, yeah.
All right, this one's called Yes, 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 No. This subreddit is pretty simple. Things that are great before they go bad. Almost perfect isn't. All right. So this is called Not At All What I Expected. It looks like somebody's hanging up a birthday banner, but let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Why does everything have copyrighted music? So she's hanging up a happy birthday thing. Some guy is...
He's weighing his options.
That was definitely staged. There's a 0% chance that happened like spontaneously.
No doubt. It's so great.
Funny,
at first I thought he
yeah.
At first I thought he's like going there just like eat her out, like is what he's doing at the beginning, like miming that he's like where he's carrying her like this. But then he slams her into the table. I did not see the table slam coming.
For the people not watching, she's also fully clothed. There's a fully clothed woman hanging up a sign. A guy picks her up. And he puts her in a position where she's sitting on her shoulders, and it looks like he's eating her crotch. and you're like, oh, this is some weird sexual shit. What the fuck is this? And then he like slams her into a table that breaks, wrestling style.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure all this was staged. The one thing that was crazy though is like that bowl of shit. Like if you hit that, that looks like it'd hurt her. That
Right,
like flies up and has shit in there. He's also
What's
got an
that?
office shirt. That's true. Dwight saying false. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Nice. I don't know. I liked that one. The table slam got me.
That was unexpected. That's not how I was expecting to end. All right, next up we got best costume from Our Unexpected. Same
Oh my
thing.
god, yeah, this is a good costume.
So they're painting. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He's got very, very thin arms and legs. There's some sort of fucking disorder. This is not what people look like.
Some kind of physical disability or something. Yeah, his like legs bent weirdly.
Oh my god! Holy shit! That is not what I was expecting. That is horrifying and also kind of fucking hilarious.
I love that they like stop for a second and he still runs at them and they eventually still just run away. Like that was great.
Like I feel sorry for this person's physical disability, but also like what an amazing sense of humor this guy has. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I don't even know how to describe. So the guy with the really skinny, weird, twisted limbs gets painted red, and then he's like chasing a group of people, and it looks like a friggin' demon's running at them. Like I don't know how to describe his running.
He's like he's dressed up like a little devil.
He's on his hands and legs running like a human, like a dog, but because of his limbs are all like crooked and shit, it just looks terrifying the way that he's running at people.
Yeah, the way that his legs bend, it's like demonic. It's crazy. It's great.
It looks like it straight up looks like, you know how like the devil goat has backwards legs? It looks like that.
Yeah.
Like, when you see like the devil with backwards goat's legs, that's what this guy looks like, but like that's just what he looks like. It's not even like I mean he is painted red, but
I love how long those people are like looking and like assessing the threat and still like just terrified all the way to the end.
Dude, if I saw that in real life, I wouldn't even believe my eyes.
Oh yeah,
like that doesn't look real. Like it looks like something from a movie. Even like watching it and seeing the behind the scenes, it still looks fake. It's crazy.
Yeah, it looks great. Like that guy, great.
I wonder what's up with his
brain.
limbs though. Like, what is that? I've never seen that before. That like his limbs are like backwards and like skinny and stuff. Like,
yeah, I don't know. That's definitely some unfortunate developmental disorder, I think.
all right. This next one is called "For What Reason." It's from the R Funny subreddit. It's supposed to be funny. Let's see if it is. It says, "Why are kids so unpredictable?"
Who's ready for that?
This is great. It
Go
classic.
to the nuts, right?
Yeah. Ready.
Okay, so this guy's spinning a ball on his finger, and he dropped it. I think he's trying to get the kid to punch it. I'm not really sure,
No,
but I
he
feel like
was
there's
trying
no
to
way.
get the kid to hold his finger.
Oh,
so he could
I feel like
pass
there's
the
a
ball.
0% chance this does not end with the kid punching him in the nuts. But let's find out.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
There it is. He got punched in the nuts.
The kid being so unpredictable. I don't know. That's a classic.
It's like it
one. I feel
worked,
like
and he
we've
punches him directly in the nuts. That was not how I was expecting it.
It worked, and
I mean,
it
it was,
actually
but it
didn't
wasn't.
work. Yeah,
Like
it
I expected
definitely
him to
didn't
punch in the
work.
nuts, but I expected him to punch in the nuts, missing the balls, not celebrating. That was the unexpected.
Yeah, he just like randomly punches him in the
It did.
That was like a full-on Falcon punch.
Even the way he
too.
punched was like a fake out. You're like, oh, he's going down the jump up, and then he lunges into the guy's crotch.
Yeah, he winds it up as that was a Falcon punch for sure.
That's the first comment is Falcon punch. Show me your moves.
Oh, nice. He's like Falcon. Bah! But yeah, that one.
That was wild though. That was a good video.
That's classic. That's an
This one's
oldie.
from Yes,
but a
Yes, Yes,
goodie.
No. It's another one where you think something's about to go
Oh my
happen.
god. Yeah, this one I had to like frame, like,
Bye.
hold the, like pause it at the end.
The
of
water. Man, you show me what you got.
What? Is that a shark?
Bye.
It's like a shark just like grabs
There's a
him.
kid hanging on the back of the boat, and his dad, I'm assuming it's his dad, an older man's like, hey, show us what you caught. And right as he's showing off the fish that he caught, it looks like a shark is eating him. Like the video
The
ends.
shark just like full on slaps onto his chest and
Yeah, like the
it's
video
like,
ends with a small child with a
just
shark
ends.
looking like it's about to swallow him. I'm assuming that's not how this ends. So I feel like you can't show videos of people
I
dying. on
love
Reddit,
how it
but-
says he's fine. It's like it almost got him. It's like almost got
Manny, show
him.
me what you got.
Like, look at him.
I will say that doesn't look like that big of a shark, but it's still definitely
No,
terrifying.
I also did like follow up here before. I'm like just cracking up. The kid was totally fine, and there's like an interview.
Yeah.
Follow-up I
So somebody
saw.
said close. He's inside the shark's mouth, and he said, "Luckily,
Yeah,
the baby shark."
close. It fucking got him, dude. It definitely got him. That's hilarious.
I like this comment. It's okay. That's just how sharks show affection. Trust me, I'm a sharkologist. Top comments.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just so it just comes out of nowhere. I don't know. That was a good one.
All right, this next one is Reddit next fucking level, and it is
Oh, that's a good sub.
this guy's rigged up a whole army of mowers to mow his lawn or to keep his lawn looking
Yeah,
great.
this is pretty great.
And already before we start the video, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lawnmowers. Let's see what's going on with this. It's
Yeah,
music we can't play. Okay, so guy's on like a John Deere driving tractor, like one of the ones you sit on, and that's towing a V formation of standard lawnmowers.
It's the
And it
flying
looks like a
V.
freaking like flock of birds flying south for the winter, but it's some dude on a fucking John Deere getting followed by lawnmowers.
If you know about the Mighty Ducks, it's the flying V.
That's related to a bird flying formation, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not as cool. It's just
Is that really that effective? Like, I mean, I guess it's got to be.
I don't know, but it's hilarious.
It seems
I'm,
like
like,
that would cause
impressed
more
that they,
problems than
like,
it'd help.
I'm impressed how they they make it around the corner and they keep their like V formation.
Yeah, I would
It's
expect him to
pretty
like
cool.
flip over and get tangled and shit. Like, I would not expect that to even work.
Like you
So
got it
I guess all the
figured out.
power to him if he's got
Yeah.
it working. But
That's props, dude. He gets props from me.
I will say I'm jealous of people that sit down mowers. I used to have to we live in an apartment now, so I haven't had to mow a lawn in years. But when I lived with my parents in Bellevue, Washington, it was my job to mow the fucking lawn, and that shit sucks.
Yeah, a sit-down mower wouldn't have made sense though. That wasn't like a huge lawn.
No, also we had like the reason our lawn sucked to mow is because it was on a slope. It was like very steep. Like our driveway, the lawn went down with the driveway
right.
into so that was the hard part of mowing a lawn is that it was on a hill.
Yeah.
And I don't think a sit down mower would help. You'd just like cruise down the fucking hill and like slide. All right.
Oh, this
So
one was
baby,
hilarious.
wait, let me see what this is called. Unexpected. A mother notices an intruder on the baby monitor. So you see a baby and it looks like night vision. It's like a black and white night camera. And the baby's just
Yeah.
sleeping in a crib. And then you see a woman approach this baby with a cell phone.
That's the baby monitor. She sees herself on it and then
Oh.
freaks out. Yeah.
I thought somebody actually came up to her. So yeah, she's looking at the baby, and then she looks at her phone, which I guess is the baby monitor, and she sees herself touching the baby, and she wasn't expecting it. She freaks herself the fuck out.
The little dance in place. She's doesn't know what to do, but yeah, that cracked me up.
I've done that before. Looked in a mirror or something, not expecting to see myself. And
Just
all right,
scaring
Eric
herself.
sent us a video. I'm not sure what this is. It's related to Street Fighter. So for all you Ryu fans. Wait, did you just say something? I think you said.
Are you okay?
What is he saying there, Eric? I can't hear it. Let me try one more time. I'll turn it.
I didn't hear that either.
Putting Jago down 1-0.
Let's go Dustin, maybe? Oh, shit.
Holy shit, people are going wild.
What the fuck, dude? Look at all these people watching themselves.
Unbelievable. Jago with a full parry. Here's Romo with the combo and win. Evolution 2004. It's madness.
That's the most
You have
hype
to
shit
be-
I've ever seen.
I know, dude. He comes back.
Those
pretty good.
100 people are louder than stadiums full of people ever. That was crazy.
Yeah, dude. Esports is massive. So that was like early esports days.
That's 2004. It was like they're playing on a
Okay.
CRT TV. It's crazy. It's before online gaming.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm not sure
That is pretty wild.
what that was referenced to. I don't know if Eric has context for that, but I'm sure there's something we were talking about when we were talking about Street Fighter.
That was Ryu winning the championship game, probably.
It was Diego versus Justin Evo.
Oh. I wonder if those are like famous players or something. You know, like esports champions, rivals.
I'm sure if you know the history of Street Fighter, you probably have heard of these people, but I'm not in the Street Fighter competitive scene. I don't know if these people are still active nor or well known, but their names are in the title, so people have to know who these people are. Otherwise, they wouldn't like type it.
Yeah.
Also, this video has 5 billion views. Right, no, 5 million views. That makes more sense. It says this video has 100+ million views on YouTube, but it doesn't. So I don't understand what. Maybe the full video has 100 million views, and then this clip doesn't.
Maybe. Although I'd imagine the clip would have more views than the full video.
Me too. I think that's going to conclude our stream for today, though. Did you have anything else you want to go over?
Oh, I don't think so. Paul, Link won our contest. Yeah, Link. Better than
What?
Mario.
Oh.
I was just telling Paul that Link was the ultimate winner today.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll be playing some like blockchain brawlers, probably. We might play some other games. We'll do some giveaways. So tomorrow will be a fun giveaway game. So if you're interested in NFTs and wax stuff, check us out tomorrow. We'll be doing more of an NFT focused show. And next Friday, we'll have our first sticker drop, hopefully. It's exciting. Our stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Come in the mail tomorrow. And then we just have to set up. Figure out how to
Smash Bros. Combo competition. I don't know if I've seen that. Although for my favorite esport, I still watch Overwatch League. I'm a loser. I watch Overwatch League.
Overwatch League is pretty fun. I like watching. My favorite video gaming content is Summoning Salt. Summoning Salt I watch every video he puts out. It's a very niche part of the internet.
Does he do like the history of stuff?
He does the history of speed world records.
I like those. Yeah, those are wild.
But like, if you look, like every video he puts out gets millions of views. He's literally like, I don't think there's another person doing what he's doing as far as like, I'm sure other people make history of speedrun videos, but like he is the definitive history of speedrun video guy. But like, I'll watch it for games I haven't even I've never even played Lego Star Wars. I watched an hour and 30-minute video about how they learned how to speedrun the game faster, like throughout history. Like, I find this stuff just like wildly entertaining. The Super Mario 64 one's incredible. Like, it starts out, it takes the people like an hour and a half to beat the game, and then they broke the game so hard that they could beat it in like 4 minutes by the end. So like it goes from being like, yeah, like you can skip basically everything in Mario 64. If you jump up backwards, if you do the leap jump backwards, you get glitched and you fly up the stairs for the last Bowser. You don't need to get 100 and whatever stars. So they figured out how to do that. And then they figure out a glitch where you can get into the star room, the first star room to the second star room. You can cut a corner. If you do like a side jump, you go through the wall to clip it, and you can just skip. Like they broke the game so hard that you can skip through like every single barrier that used to exist. But if you go through the history of the speedrunning, they didn't know that existed. So like first people trying to beat everything better, and they're like narrowing time in the levels. And then like one person learns you can just skip the entire first 20 stars. Then it's like, oh, that just saved an entire like 30 minutes. And then like when that happens, then everybody takes that strategy and adds it to the other ones. So it's like, it's really a combination of strategies. And you also see like each person will invent a new strategy. Like, oh, this guy became the world leader because he invented this. But then the previous world leader learned that guy's strategy, incorporates into his better strategy. And then they battle each other, learning each other's strategies.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting thing where like,
it was pretty fun.
I don't know. They break the game together, but it's like a community working together to break a game. And like, if just one person was doing it, they would never reach the same thing as like the competition is what makes it reach there. But it's like, I don't know. It's kind of just this cool thing where it's like, also some of these games like Mario 64 are like 20 years old. So it's like people have literally been breaking the game, and they'll find something like in 2019, like we've been breaking this game for 20 years straight, and some guy just found some new thing. But it's like, I don't know. It's crazy that people are like invest so much time into these games. Like, I don't know. It's like I doubt the developers ever thought this would be played that much. Like the
That's
sheer
funny.
like
Mascot is saying watching developers react to people speedrunning their games is also
that's
good.
awesome too because they're just like they broke everything we're trying to do. Like the Mario Kart ones are also really good. If you watch any of these,
I've seen the Mario Kart ones where like they figure out like how you can do like if you like do like a loop around this like rock or something, you can like get a full lap credit.
Yeah, you can jump off the level. He goes through and he explains like the systems too, how they learn like how the systems work, and it's like, oh, if you go this far off, it doesn't, but if you go over this far off, it does, and like, yeah, I don't know. I find this stuff wildly interesting. Check out Summoning Salt if you don't.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
These are my late night. I usually watch these from like 3 to 4 in the morning. I get very, very stoned, smoke a lot of marijuana, and just let him whisper in my ears about records of games I don't even play.
Oh shit! I thought you fucked this one up. Here, what's he about to do? Let's see.
The 60% as you hit the upper balcony. By performing an A-Tech hop in a precise spot off the ledge, your race completion goes from 40% to 60% as you hit the upper balcony checkpoints, to 99% as you hit the finish line checkpoints, and back to 40% as you respawn. It never jumps up by more than 50% at a time, so your race progression increases by a full lap, and you get checkpoint credits upon respawning. This trick would go on to be nicknamed the flop. For laps 2 and 3, you can flop off the ledge, then lack hop to get checkpoint credits for the full lap, and complete the race having driven hardly any of it. So, Goomba got to work, and managed to hit the shortcut after a few tries on October 10th, 2018.
Yeah, he goes through, he shows each exploit they find, who invented it, and how that affected the results on the leaderboard. So he's like, you introduce sequentially as it did. He's like, okay, 1998. Like, there's a link to a video from this website. This is the first ever history, and you can watch this footage and see what he's doing here. And then like he goes through all the footage and he's like, okay, on this day they invented this new technique, and this is how it influenced. And like, there's footage of all this stuff too, because all these people speed running, they broadcast all the speed runs. So there's footage of everything he's talking about as it happened, and like, I don't know, it's fun. Definitely not for everybody, but
yeah.
I don't even like speed running. I don't watch speed running, and I don't do speed runs myself. But the history of speed running, there's something about this niche that like very much appeals to me.
That's pretty dope. But yeah, we'll back tomorrow to play some games too. I'm fucking getting my brawlers on lately.
Yeah, I'll play some games tomorrow. But thanks for watching, everybody. We're gonna raid into Consumer Break. So have fun watching Consumer Break. And we'll catch you all next time. Raid into...
Thanks for voting Link. That was like my favorite character. So
also, if anyone wants to hang out, I posted a link to our Discord.
Oh yeah, I'll be down to play some Overwatch later too. If people want to grind to get their heroes.
Peace out, everybody. See you tomorrow.